Brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Play action, Rattler to the air. Looking deep down the field. Shaheed's got great speed. He's got him. Shaheed down the sideline. 10-5, touchdown. There's the home run ball for the Saints.
We have a new wide receiver in Seattle, allegedly, reportedly. Nothing confirmed by the Seahawks yet. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reporting the Seahawks are trading for Saints wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Again, if you are just now joining us, and again, this was during Brock and Salk as well, news breaking this morning ahead of a busy trade deadline, a busier morning than we were expecting. Seahawks have a new wide receiver, acquiring wide receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. I'm not sure on the return yet. Curtis, when you see that, would you let us know?
We've got eyes on it.
Okay,
yeah. We're on the lookout.
Curtis will let us know when we see the return on that one. But, Bump, what does this mean for Seattle's offense?
First off, let me say my girl Stacy put us on. My girl Stacy was like, hey, I could see them trying to deal for a receiver.
I could see a wide receiver being a trade need.
And I wasn't on board until Cooper Kupp got hurt. Then I was like, all right, yeah, I can see it now. And then Bobo goes down.
Yeah.
Then Drew Young goes down.
A lot of people said I didn't know ball.
But you saw the future. So first off, let's give Stacy some love for seeing this.
I'm not dumb.
No, far from it.
But more importantly, Bump, what does this mean for the offense?
This is big. This is a big move. It's a big move because what's the best part of this offense right now?
Pass game.
It's the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have another threat. And with Cooper Kupp having the hamstring issues, with Jake Bobo going down, with Derek Young going down, you need some wide receiver depth. I feel bad for Cody White because all he does is make plays, and now this pushes him down the depth chart a little bit more. But no, this helps in the pass game. It helps in the return game. Now, he's done some punt returning, right? He has 2 touchdowns as a punt returner, 804 yards over 4 years. As a kick returner, he has 904 yards, no returns for a touchdown. So I'm wondering if they move Horton out of that position, which I wouldn't think they do. I think they just put him at kick return because they need that help. George Holani isn't as explosive as a Derek Young. And I don't want to jack his name, but let me say it again. Rashid Shaheed is way more explosive than those guys back there. No, this is a 2-for-1. It's a good old 2-for-1. This is when you go to Walmart and they're selling Skittles, buy one get one free, and that's what you got. You got a wide receiver and you got a punt returner. This is a bigger move than I think people realize.
Why?
When they talk about being aggressive, this is it because your offense becomes that much more explosive. Your kick return game becomes that much more explosive. I really like this move. John Schneider, big ups. You know what's funny? I actually texted him this morning.
John Schneider?
Yeah. And he typically returns my text. He didn't return it.
He's
my
busy.
man was dealing. Man was dealing.
He was wheeling and dealing. He was answering phones, hanging up on people. I'm sure that must be so satisfying as a GM. Basic stats. Let's go over it right now. Rashid Shaheed with 499 yards this season and 2 touchdowns. That is second behind Chris Olave. Chris Olave with 560. Again, he's getting the majority of the target share there, but it's not by any means like a lion's share that JSN is getting here. So I know that some people are looking at Chris Olave as a potential trade target for a number of teams. Rashid Shaheed right behind him. This is not a massive gap in production. So if you were thinking like, oh, I'd rather have, or I wanted to have Chris Olave, or I thought that could be intriguing, you're getting most of that production with Rashid Shaheed. He also is more yards per reception. He's actually leading the Saints in yards per reception with 11.3, about 1 on average higher than Chris Olave at 10.2. So again, lots of production from those two with a Saints offense that's been struggling because they haven't had stability at quarterback, but they have some good wideouts there, and Seattle's getting one of them. What does this mean in terms of, like, did your mind go in any way to, oh, my God, is Cooper Kupp going to go to IR? Is this hamstring injury lingering? Or did you just think, why not make a strength stronger?
Nah, I went straight positive. I thought this was a move that enhanced what you have already. You have JSN, who's a number 1 receiver. Rashid is a faster receiver than JSN. He's going to be able to hold safeties accountable, let JSN work underneath. You want to take away JSN, don't worry, we got some speed on the outside. No, I didn't go to the negative, but now that you've kind of popped it into my
I didn't mean to.
my brain. No,
I just had some follow-up questions.
This is what we do,
Yeah.
right? It makes me think, okay, how severe is that hamstring injury? But I said yesterday that, man, once the hammy goes, it's a tricky situation, man. We saw Julian Love try to nurse this thing for a while, and then I would assume he felt 100%, went to do his workouts, opened up the gate, and felt that thing a little bit more. Hamstrings are just tough. And then when you're Cooper Kupp, you're in your 30s, it's just different. Like I'm sure if I were to open up around full speed right now, I'd pull my hammy. You know what I mean? It's just different. So, no, I think that this is a move that could have been made even if Cooper Kupp was healthy, though, because your strength right now is your pass game. You have one of the best pass games in the game. You want to make defenses have to be held accountable when you're trying to bracket JSN and have a safety over the top. Torrey Horton showed that he's capable. This is a big move. This is when, was it Shefty that reported that the Hawks are being aggressive? Who was it?
Schefter and Glazer. So this pans out. They said aggressive. This makes complete sense to me. I can't wait to see what they gave up for this, though. Let's take a listen to some more of that because, again, I don't know that the Seahawks are completely done. That's not me reporting on something I know. That's me saying that we've been hearing from a lot of NFL voices. First, Adam Schefter yesterday on with Pat McAfee.
Seattle is interesting. As my friend Brian Windhorst would say, something is going on in Seattle. Something is going on in Seattle. Seattle would be a team to watch.
And then Jordan Schultz tweeted this morning that the Seahawks are one of the teams that he's watching, that there could be something big on the horizon. Here it is. We'll see if any deals get done, but the two teams I'm watching today, this was 3 hours ago, for a potential holy stuff trade are the Seahawks and Broncos. Now, Rashid Shaheed, obviously a big acquisition, but not like a blockbuster deal, right? Like this is not, the Colts acquiring Sauce Gardner is so far the biggest move of the day. That's a holy shoot deal. I don't know that I classify Shaheed. Does that mean there could still be one? Or might it mean that there was a deal that Seattle couldn't get done? Like maybe they were targeting a Jalen Waddle. Maybe they were targeting another receiver, and Rashid Shaheed is where they landed. Obviously some familiarity there with Clint, so maybe that helps as well.
What I would assume if they went after this young man that they dipped their toe in the waters with some other wideouts. That's my assumption, right? Because if you're going this route, you check the pulse of some other deals, but this one just ended up being more comfortable for you. Listen, we know John. John's going to knock on every door. He is going to pick up every phone call and try to make the best decision possible. This one just made more sense for them, but because they went this route, I would assume that they tried some other routes too.
I have the return. Tell me if you still feel like this is absolutely worth it. From Nick Underhill, the Saints are receiving for Rashid Shaheed 4th and 5th round picks in 2026.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Yeah, because you know what? John's going to find a way to get a 4th and 5th round pick
Undoubtedly.
back. That's what he
There'll
does.
be some comp pick somewhere that he'll get for someone.
Yeah, go trade a minority coach and go get you another
It'll
pick.
happen. This is speaking of John, what he had to say before Sunday's game.
You got the trade deadline, which I'm guessing you're not turning your phone off just on the off chance.
No, absolutely not. No, we went to the Maryland-Indiana game yesterday, talking to a bunch of teams. We'll continue to have conversations through the next 2 days. So, we're in it, and we'll see what's shaking out there.
Would you be curious in another move happening?
Something's going to happen, but I think this is probably like the headliner.
The headliner?
This is the headliner. If they do better than this, then good for them, but I wouldn't expect anything more than this as far as like a headline. Some depth pieces is what I was actually talking to Lofa last night. We're in this dart league, so we talk back and forth, and we were having this conversation. I'm like, well, what do you think they're going to do? And he mentioned wideout. He mentioned O-line. And then I mentioned linebacker. And then he was like, yeah, he goes, I like Tyrese Knight. I like Drake. But I can see that happening, too. I think now it's more about depth. Like, get some guys who can back up if something were to happen.
Curtis, I saw a tweet about Logan Wilson to the Cowboys. Was that official or was that a spoof?
That's going down.
I wondered if, could the Seahawks be one of the teams targeting Logan Wilson? A lot of people had favored Logan Wilson, who had requested a trade from the Bengals to rejoin Lou Anarumo with Indy, who's now the DC in Indy, and so people thought like, oh well, that's obviously going to happen if Indy ends up adding him. So Cowboys add Logan Wilson. I thought maybe the Seahawks would look at him. He would not be a depth piece. That would be someone you'd bring in to start. But again, I think the one conversation I really enjoyed having ahead of the trade deadline, and it's over at 1 p.m. We still got some time here for the Seahawks to make moves, was the idea of adding to an area of strength. And while I would love for them to add a guard, add an interior lineman, and everyone would love depth pieces, I'd love for them to add an off-ball linebacker. But, Bump, I want to kick this back to you. This is a team that feels on the verge of being a Super Bowl contender. They are right there. They're putting on a pretty dominant effort. I really like the idea of something in which they're already elite. They're a top 5 passing offense, now continuing to have something added.
Yeah, they made a position group who was pretty darn strong, even stronger. I think when you look at this group when healthy, right, you have JSN, you have Cooper Kupp, and you have Torrey Horton. Cooper Kupp is clearly a guy who you don't expect much from. It's more clutch catches and mentorship that you're asking for him. Me, I asked for 600 yards, maybe 5 touchdowns, and you get a return out of that. You can keep him in the mix and still have a Rashid ready to go as well. No, they made a position group that was strong, even stronger. You have to address that linebacker group, though. You have to address that linebacker group. With Ernest going down, we don't know what that rehab is going to be like. It doesn't sound like it's a major injury, but when you start, messing with knees and ankles and heads and shoulders, knees and toes, like it's just that's just what happens. So I'm looking now for some linebacker help.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at some of the other news from this morning. It's been a very, very busy day. These are maybe only slightly related to the Seahawks, but more about just general moves around the league. And look, when you're contending, these moves affect you, especially if they go to other NFC teams. So again, the Jets trade Sauce Gardner, biggest move of the day, to the Colts for 2 first-round picks. Does that probably mean Breece Hall gets dealt? We've already had a texter say, in all caps, Breece Hall.
I think you have to look at the teams that are struggling right now. And you and I have both said that the Jets are the most talented garbanzo team that we've seen. Like, if you look at just the names that are on that squad, there are some guys there, but they're not playing well. So what do you do to help your rookie head coach, right? You have to get him a quarterback. You have to get him some more picks in the drafts. He can help influence what's going on. Aaron Glenn's not going to be a one-and-done type of deal. So I'm sure they're having conversations. How do we build this team? He was there with the Detroit Lions in that rebuild and getting things right. So he has some insight. You got to lean on that. So, yeah, if I am any team on in the NFL, any GM, I'm looking at the Jets like I'm going thrift shopping at Value Village at Goodwill and saying, all right.
You can get fines.
Exactly.
You can get really cool things there.
I started thrift shopping with my son maybe like a month ago, and I go, you mean to tell me this has always been here? He goes, yeah, Dad. This has always been here.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at the New York Jets. Look, we're going thrift shopping, and we're going to find some gems because there's some names over there they might be willing to do.
Any thought also on Sauce Gardner? By the way, you still have to face the Colts. The Seahawks are still taking on the Colts on the schedule still. They are not in your rear view. That's going to be a really tough one, and they just got that much better.
Yeah, they got better. Like I said yesterday, though,
but so did the Seahawks offense, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Danny Dallas, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, the same way that a lot of people are looking at Sam Darnold. And I'm saying, all right, well, keep it up, Buttercup. Like, let me see if you can ride this wave and get it going. So, no, the Colts are a good team. You got to respect the record.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Hawks can still throw hands.
Okay, so one thing made clear this morning, if it wasn't already, are that the Saints and, Jets are very clear sellers at the deadline, and that means some other pieces could be moved. Will the Browns be sellers at the deadline? I think that's something a lot of people are curious about. The Browns previously, and I'm talking like a couple weeks ago, via Mary Kay Cabot, who covers that team for Cleveland.com, were reportedly looking to be buyers. They were trying to remain really competitive. And so that means guys that were really intriguing to people like Myles Garrett were kind of off the table. Has that changed this morning? Again, NFL's trade deadline is at 1 p.m. You already know that maybe there are some more pieces from the New York Jets, maybe some more pieces from the Saints. What other teams might be included in this room? Right now, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra!
Headline Rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the biggest deadline move so far, the Jets trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks. What's the real headline?
This is big because the previous most important sauce in Indianapolis was mayonnaise.
Is that a
Gardner.
sauce?
I would say it's a
It's
sauce.
mayonnaise sauce.
I would say it's a sauce. What is mayonnaise if it's not a sauce?
I don't know.
What's ketchup if it's not a sauce? It's
Ketchup is a sauce for sure.
Then mayonnaise and ketchup are the same.
Oh no. You
They're
gotta
the
check
same.
This one,
Mustard,
Stacy.
they're all sauces.
Are they?
Yeah.
Let's ask AI. Is mayo
Or
a
mayo is a sauce.
Let's ask. Yes,
Yes.
mayo is a sauce.
Thank you.
I just have to verify.
Barbecue sauce,
You know?
ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, sauces.
Campfire.
Okay, anyway, Sauce Gardner to Indianapolis. Indianapolis Colts still have to face Seattle this year, so that competition just got a little bit tougher there. Also, the Colts just being dealt only their second loss of the season, looking like very much the team to beat in the AFC. I'm sorry to Patrick Mahomes. I know you just lost to the Bills, but otherwise are still a Super Bowl favorite. But the Colts are very much like a, hey, please take us seriously kind of team right now, and you should.
Miss Irsay.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing her thing.
Carly?
She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
She is on the headset.
Taking notes.
She is holding guys accountable. She's
Wearing a
involved.
Cuban chain.
And you know what? She got a lot of flack for this because she's a woman doing this. If it were a man doing it, it'd be a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a woman doing this. And I'm not saying she's the reason why these guys are balling, but she is definitely contributing to this. And them going to get Sauce Gardner, man, this is real stuff, man. You know what? When we play the Colts, follow 11. Let's go get active because he mixed up Stingley like he wasn't even there. So I believe in 11.
I don't know why people are hating.
A lot of people are mad about the mayonnaise take on the text line.
I know, but everyone's saying it's a condiment.
It's a
then
joke.
What's a condiment? Well, people take everything a little too seriously, but I'll stand 10 toes down on that. Mayonnaise is a sauce. Because then we're getting into conversations about, like, okay, how liquidy does something have to be a sauce? What's a sauce even? Because if you're going to say to my face that barbecue sauce, quite literally called barbecue sauce, is a sauce, how much thicker is mayonnaise? Not that much. Matt looks horrified. Matt, you don't think mayonnaise is a sauce?
Listen.
Can we
Matt?
please go to the next headline?
No,
me
we
being the
can't.
only-
No, don't you
Me
dare.
being the only person in my delegation here,
Thank you,
my fellow Caucasians.
fellow.
All right, how do we feel about the mayo situation? Because
Yeah,
y'all
no, I can
own
speak.
that.
I don't like mayo.
No, I can speak to this.
Y'all own that.
I'm not pro mayonnaise. We've already talked about how I'm very pro aioli, which is just where you like add garlic to mayonnaise and suddenly it's fancy and Italian. And so I would consider aioli a sauce.
Is aioli a sauce?
This is the thing. I'm telling you right now, we're going to get 100 texts about this. And there's going to be like, Seahawks trade for Myles Garrett. And people are going to be like, all right, but let's get back to mayonnaise.
Aioli is a type of sauce, according to AI.
Okay, we need to revisit. What's the definition of a sauce?
I don't know.
Matt, you can go to the next one now. I'm sorry. I
Headline
took us all the way off the
Rewrites.
rails. I'm sorry.
Headline number two, Cal Raleigh named an AL MVP finalist alongside Aaron Judge and Jose Ramirez. What's the real headline?
Considering the crazy morning we've had in the NFL, this is just the least surprising sports news of the last 24 hours.
I saw this and immediately thought of Gwen Stefani. What you waiting, what you waiting, what you waiting, what you waiting, what you waiting for? Give this man the dang MVP. I still don't think it's going to happen, but he's a finalist. That's the least they can do is make him a finalist, you know? So, yeah, you already robbed Julio of a Gold Glove. So thank you for the recognition of our guy Cal. But you know what? If he doesn't get this, his peers already crown him the best player in the game. this year.
Curtis, you mentioned it was November 13th when this is announced?
Yes.
Okay. 2 weeks. Ish. Matt's looking at me confused. Yeah, 2
9
weeks.
days.
9 days. But 9 is closer to 14 than you think. What's next?
It's also closer to 1 week.
Headline Rewrites.
Look, it's been a hectic morning. I am on my third cup of coffee, but I haven't finished either of the first two. It just keeps getting cold.
Just get some water after this.
There's more reaction on the text line to mayonnaise than there is to the actual trade that the Seahawks made.
Because this is
morning.
the thing. People want to complain that's not sports, but then everyone's like, this is dumb sports talk, but then they're texting their friends going, would you guys say mayonnaise is a sauce? It is a sauce.
Headline 3, the Cardinals made easy work of the Cowboys in their 27-17 win on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
Can you bench Jacoby?
What?
Can you?
Are you serious?
Can you?
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
No, you're not. There's no way you're serious.
How do you start Kyler Murray?
You know why you start him? Because you're paying him like $100 million.
Maybe just let him get healthy for a little bit longer.
You know what?
Maybe you see what happens against the Seahawks with Jacoby.
This is how the NFL works. There was a time where I was leading the conference in punt return yards. You know what? Someone got healthy. They said, yeah, bump back to practice squad, dog. We're paying this guy. And that's at a return spot. So QB, yeah, you bench Jacoby, man. And Dallas is, we already know what Dallas is.
Oh, it's a horrible defense.
They're not
God
good.
awful.
They're not good.
But that's a really good offense. And they were shut out for a portion of the game. Like, didn't they get a special team score before they got a touchdown?
Block punt.
Yeah.
Score.
Yeah, like that was a surprising showing from the offense from Dallas. I thought this would be a shootout.
Is it? I get petty sometimes. And I love seeing Dallas struggle because I need Jerry at his old age to be like, you know what, guys, I'm wrong. Like,
He'll never do that.
I need some help in my decision making.
We'll never do it.
Like, come on now. You gotta look at, and what's messed up is that his kids can't hold him accountable. His best friends can't hold him accountable. When you are a billionaire, you're one of the richest people in this country.
Yeah.
No one will challenge you. And this is what you get. He needs some counsel.
Let's go back to the text line because I have some takes and comments for you. I only saved you 30 seconds, but we're going to get to Mariners here. So until 10:45, this is the last time we're talking Seahawks. Someone said a 4th and 5th is too much for a rental number 3 receiver.
He's low-key a number 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's straight up a number 3 receiver.
He's low-key number 2. Like, yes,
he's number 2 with the Saints.
Cooper Kupp is here, and we understand his capabilities. When Cooper Kupp isn't healthy, he's definitely number 2. When Cooper Kupp comes back, he's competing for a number 2. And you still got a young receiver in development in Torrey Horton. I love this move, man, and the kick return game is going to be on point.
Wow. Okay, so I stopped listening to you because the 206 said they would call Mayo a spread.
I saw that spread.
Wow. Because that's what I'd call butter.
Butter is a spread.
But butter is more.
Cream cheese is a spread.
I don't think that's mayo, though. I don't think mayo's in that family.
But what do you? If you can't dip your fries in it,
you can
it's
dip
not
fries
a sauce.
You could dip fries in mayo if you wanted
disgusting.
to. If
no
you
one
wanted
dips
to,
fries in mayo.
I do, but it's aioli.
You dip your fries in aioli?
Once again, Matt, I'm sorry. We are coming back. Would the Mariners consider this blockbuster deal? Matt's shaking his head. He's so ashamed. That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
At Pacific Power Batteries, you won't find anything with pumpkin spice. We sell batteries for everything to anyone. No warm, fuzzy mittens, no umbrellas, no potpourri in our nice stores. But when the going gets tough and the lights go out and your stuff won't start, you'll be glad that you came to Pacific Power Batteries. And if you're not sure if your battery is dead, we'll test it for you for free. We will sell no battery for anything before it's time. We're honest people at Pacific Power Batteries, doing batteries since 1985.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here, with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive, and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies of all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I tweeted out, is mayonnaise a sauce? It already has 8 responses.
Saying no.
No, people saying myriad things. Someone said when you add ketchup to it, it becomes a sauce. Is that campfire sauce? What's ketchup and mayonnaise?
That's fry sauce. Yeah.
Dumb, but sure, that's one acceptable answer. Someone said that they order mayonnaise for their chicken McNuggets.
What?
People dip things in mayonnaise.
McDonald's gives you mayonnaise?
I'm sure that they carry it around with them. You got to stay ready.
Before we get going, let me give listen, last night I had a dart league that I'm in, and I've only been on the team for 2 weeks. They've been going for 5 weeks, and we've lost every game.
It builds character.
But last night we competed. Big ups Paul.
Woo!
Big ups Lofa.
Woo!
Big ups Amy. We competed last night.
There you go.
And we're novices.
Wait, hang on. Did you win?
No, we competed.
Oh, okay. I'm just making. Okay, I didn't know really where that was going. All right. If you're just now joining us, the Seahawks made a trade this morning. Acquiring wide receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints for 4th and 5th round picks. We will get back to what this means for the Seahawks pretty much throughout the show. We've already got some feedback and some questions that we'll throw into also 4-down territory. You've been wondering what the trade for Rashid tells you about some other pieces with the Seahawks. That's coming up at 11:15. Right now, quickly injecting some Mariners news because there is some interesting stuff this morning from Seattle Times' Adam Jude. In his column, he wrote about his latest for Seattle Times. He wrote about the 5 offseason moves he'd like to see the Mariners make. Number 1, trade for Tarek Skubal. I know that for a lot of you, that sounds
Tariq.
like for Tariq Skubal. I know for a lot of you that sounds like, oh, that's just, why would that even happen at all? Well, most people are assuming that Detroit isn't going to re-sign him. They're reportedly very far away on contract negotiations. Adam Jude writes that Skubal returns 29 on November 20th, will be a free agent after the 2026 season, and is expected to command the largest contract ever for a pitcher, a deal that could exceed $400 million. But that price range could be too steep for Detroit to re-sign him. So people have anticipated that another team could trade for him, and while people are pointing to, other really competitive teams, why not Seattle? This is the same kind of conversation we were having about Juan Soto. Hey, you're not going to be able to, hit him with a new contract in free agency the way that the Yankees or Mets will be able to approach him with something, but you could trade for him.
Look, here's the thing. If it's too steep for Detroit, my Mariners mind makes me think that it's too steep.
But not if it's a trade.
Seattle. Hold on. Let me get into it. Let me get in the weeds.
My apologies.
All right.
Let me take a step back and sip my coffee.
I also think that these guys, the Mariners, are at a different place. Okay, you've upgraded. You were 30 miles inland from the coast. Now you have a beachfront property, and you're looking at it. And I'm going to hold on to this, and I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to build this home, and it's going to gain value. That's the way I think these guys are looking. So whether it be trade, acquisition, whatever, I think that mentally this ownership should be in a different place. I think they are in a different place. And they're looking at what they have and what they're trying to retain and saying, imagine if we were to get Tarek, a.k.a. Tariq Skubal, on this squad, what it would do. Because when it comes down to it, your pitching wasn't at its best when you needed it the most. The bats are up and down, smiles and frowns. That's going to happen, right? But the most consistent thing you can do is have a rotation in the bullpen that you can count on. So I hope they're looking at Tarek and saying, you know what, let's go ahead and get a swing at this thing and see what happens.
All right, Curtis. Adam Jude writes about a potential cost that this would take. You know plenty about the Mariners farm system. Would you balk at this price?
I personally would not. He's got Logan Evans, Terangelo Sainja, and Felnine Celestin, who's, I believe he's 20 years old and is a shortstop. All three are in the Evans, I think, has graduated out of prospect rankings, but Sainja is a top 100 prospect. Celestin is a top 100 prospect. Evans obviously was a nice depth piece for your rotation, but looking at what he could be potentially, I don't think he's ever reaching the level of Tarek Skubal. I think the Mariners would like to probably package something like this together to get Skubal. I don't even know if the Tigers would go for this. I think the Tigers may be asking for a little bit more. I feel like if you're giving up a pitcher of Tarek Skubal's caliber, you're going to ask for whoever is the best prospect in the system that you're trading for, which would either, at this point, it's kind of like Colt Emerson or Cade Anderson. I think those would be the top two guys in the Mariners farm system.
There's no way Seattle deals them.
Right. I don't think either of those guys get dealt. So then you're kind of like, well, where else can we find opportunities to, put guys in this trade that would make it work? But I think the Mariners should absolutely be doing everything they can to get Tarek Skubal this offseason, because you look at just the importance of a horse, importance of a number one ace in the playoffs. I mean, the Mariners rotation obviously has some great depth, 1 through 5, but does anybody in that rotation right now, maybe Brian Wu, and we never got to see Brian Wu at full health, but does anyone in that rotation jump out to you as like one of the 5 best pitchers in baseball?
Negative. I think Wu has potential.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you, Curtis. Is there a situation that you see where Castillo is in this mix as far as acquiring a guy like Tarek?
I don't know if the Tigers want to bring back an expiring deal, especially because I think Castillo is going to be making more than Skubal will this upcoming season. I think if you're the Tigers and you're giving up Skubal, you're trying to get back more guys that have club control, like 5-6 years of club control, and all these guys do. I don't believe Logan Evans hit a full year of service time in 2025, so he could potentially have quite a few years of club control. And then St. John and Celestin obviously have not reached the big leagues yet, so their clock hasn't started either. So the Tigers are a team, it's interesting because they used to be one of the bigger spenders in baseball, haven't been that way really for the last about decade or so. And just based off of like what they have been offering Skubal, what we've seen John Heyman say, 4 years, $80 million,
Massive
which
gap.
is like, that's insulting if I'm Tarek Skubal. You're probably not going to see a deal reach between Skubal and the Tigers, so he kind of probably gets thrust to the front of the trade market.
2 things I want to say here. Number 1, the importance of this rotation going forward was emphasized by Jordan Schusterman of Yahoo Sports on with us just 2 weeks ago.
But the pitching is a big part of it, too. I mean, that's the part of the window that we're really talking about. And that's the part of the window, especially when we talked about last season, feeling like a missed opportunity. That's where it starts to get a little bit more dicey from a health standpoint. But in terms of the position player core and a lot of what they have in place and what they have coming, and they do have more pitching coming, I feel like this is going to be a longer runway, but it is a little bit delicate in that sense. I definitely understand.
So again, your window, according to Jordan, is predicated, yes, on Cal and Julio and kind of those central pieces, but also on your rotation. That's what keeps your window propped. And you want to get to a World Series with this group right now. This is your window. This is it. Be aggressive. 541. If Skubal were 23, you trade the farm, but not for a 29-year-old. First of all, Skubal, don't think ages for pitchers, baseball players in general, peak later than some other
They're
sports.
like quarterbacks, man.
Secondly, Skubal and Cal Raleigh are exactly like 1 week apart in age. They're the same age. Thirdly, this is your window. This is how you got stuck here in the first place. Not the 5-4-1 refusing to trade for things, but in not being aggressive, in not taking risks, in not looking out for some of the best talent. The Mariners will not be able to afford to compete with other teams for Skubal and free agency. Also a Boris client, worth noting. Can they afford to trade for him more so than other teams? Yes. So what the Mariners are going to do, in addition to being a draft trade developed team, is they're going to look at midseason acquisitions and just trades in general as their best way to add talent. They are not going to outspend. And presumably they'll increase the payroll for this year. They want to start where they ended the season at like 165 or so, maybe 35 to spend. A lot of that would go to Naylor.
That's a problem.
Sure, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
They're never going to drastically increase that. But they can trade.
Here's what this move is. This is a world championship contending type of move if you were to get this done. Let the people know that if you don't get it done, at least let them know that you have tried to get this done.
Yeah. What's the best division in the NFL right now? That's next.
The NFL trade deadline is here. Today at 1 p.m.
Something is going on in Seattle.
I've been screaming linebacker, linebacker, linebacker.
Seattle would be a team to watch.
I think we're looking at it through the lens of, is this going to help our team now and in the future?
Will the Hawks make moves? Find out here first.
Schneider and McDonald, they don't sit on their hands.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Go inside the rumor mill and every move at seattlesports.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
We are well into the rainy season in Seattle, but it's not too late to get your roof replaced. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project this winter. Our certified technicians build a custom plan for your home, ensuring a worry-free installation even in the winter months. Replace your roof now while material prices are low and lead times are short. Stop wasting your time on costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
At
Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
It's comedian Tom Segura at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center with an encore performance Saturday night, November 29th.
I want to be that type of old. It's an old where you get yelled at for saying you want to be helpful. Like when an old person's like, I'll take out the trash. Someone's like, are you out of your mind? Your spinal snap. Sit down.
Tickets at EmeraldQueen.com. Tom Segura's Come Together Tour, November 29th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit EmeraldQueen.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Rob Staten joining us in 15 right now. I love this debate. Which is the NFL's best division? The NFC West or the NFC North? And I know that the automatic thing being that we watch and cover a team in the NFC West is to say, obviously, the NFC West. And there are some very good cases you could make. However, the NFC North is the league's only division without a team under 500. So something to consider. Something to consider. Bump. Which is the NFL's best division right now?
The thing that gives me pause on the North is J.J. McCarthy. I know he just got a big win this weekend.
Say, wow, the disrespect.
Just got a big win. I understand that, but we don't know. If we're gonna question Sam Darnold 30 games into this streak of him playing good football,
sure,
I'm going to question J.J. McCarthy 4 games into his career. You know, I have to wait and see when it comes to that, but I'm not going to disrespect the North. Like, that is a good division. Also, we're looking at the Green Bay Packers. They just lost Tucker Kraft. You know, that was Jordan Love's main target. You know, who can they run to after that? You know what I mean? We'll see. But no, I think that I want to say that the NFC West is, and I'm saying this because I'm going to focus on the Cardinals. The reason why I'm focusing on the Cardinals is because they're, on paper, the weakest link in this whole deal, right? But like we talked about yesterday, you lost to the Niners by 1, a healthy Niners by 1. You lost to the Seahawks by 3. Titans, okay. We'll scratch that. Lost by 1. You lost to supposedly the best team in the game, the Colts, by 4. You lost to the Packers by 4, and you held a Cowboys offense that is supposed to be the best in the game to 17 points. The Cardinals are the most intriguing team in the league right now as far as the bottom feeders, the guys who aren't playing good football, because you look at the stats and the numbers and how they're competing with teams, and you have to respect them. That's why I said the Cardinals are going to be the final chapter test before the midterm against the Rams. If you maybe not you, because double major, you know, but me
and Dean's List.
You know, if I do good on that chapter test, I'm going to the midterm like, oh dang. let's see what we're gonna do. I need to meet up with someone like Stacy and make sure I'm studying for this whole thing. But yeah, the Cardinals are interesting, and I'm not saying this because I'm biased. I'm saying this because I'm looking at just the landscape of these divisions.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in JJ yet. I do think that Kyler Murray, if he were to play this weekend, we think he's going to play.
I'm assuming.
Has some game in it. We've seen that.
I think they should let Jacoby play. Selfishly. I went back and forth on this one, and I did it intentionally because I was trying to think like, okay, take whatever bias you have out of it of getting a much closer look at these NFC West teams and really try to think of it as the NFC North being better and then make the case against it. So that's kind of how I approached it. And again, the NFC North not having a team under 500 matters. The NFC North having a very complete team like Detroit, who I know just lost, and a team that's also fairly complete in the Packers matters. I know that their records aren't as good right now as they'd want to be, but those are two very good teams. But then I looked over at the NFC West and I thought, I just ignored the Cardinals as part of this and instead looked at the top three. So you looked at them as a complete division and said the Cardinals are much better than people think. This is a 4-horse, not race to the top, but like a tough division. I looked at it as the top three are so good offensively right now that I think they have to take it. The top 5 passing offenses in football, 3 of them are in the NFC West.
Yeah.
Top 5 passing offenses in football, 3 are in the NFC West. It's hard for me to ignore that.
Yeah, and when it comes to point differential, the top 3 teams are 2 teams are in the NFC West. You have Seattle at plus 81, Rams at plus 82. After that, you got to look at the Colts at 109. That means something. It means the offense is scoring, the defense is defensive. Mm-hmm. Like that's what it is. And it's unfortunate that this is so competitive because it makes it that much harder for the Seattle Seahawks. Like there's no room to slip. Every divisional game is going to be so much more important because you understand just how good these teams are. No, I think, honestly, now that we're talking through it, I think it's easy. It's the NFC West. Yeah. The toughest division. I respect the North. I respect the AFC West because they have a bottom feeder in the Vegas Raiders. But we just saw Geno have a 4-touchdown game. Obviously, he's capable of doing some things. But no, to me, it's an easy NFC West.
I want to get back to your point about the Arizona Cardinals. We've got about 2 minutes left here, but it's relevant because they're the Seahawks' next opponent, right? It's not just talking about how good these teams are in the West because you're going to have 6 games collectively against them, but quite literally on Sunday here at home, you're going to face the Arizona Cardinals. This is twofold importance. One, Seattle wants to make that home record better. It's been one of their stated goals this season, and they've not been knocking it out of the park there so far. 2, you are a contender. You are seen as a contender. You want to be able to build off a big Sunday night win with a dominant win.
So
against
going
the
off
Cardinals
yesterday, you're yes, they're a contender.
Yes.
You're yes.
Yes, but I want to ask you if that game by the Cardinals changes your perception of how, I don't want to say easy, it's never easy, but of what the challenge is for Seattle on Sunday, the 9th.
No. Stacy, you know I watch film. You know, I knew Oregon State was going to be tough against the Cougs. Why? Because I watched that film religiously, and I'm watching film on the Cardinals. As soon as that game was over, I'm waiting for one, thank you, Seahawks, to give me access to all 22 early, and then if they don't give it to me soon enough, I go to NFL game replay. And I didn't have the all 22, so I just watched the game all over again. And, yes, there are some guys on that team that can make it difficult.
Like Jacoby?
Like Zavin Collins, you know what I mean? Sure. Like Buda Baker, who had a fumble recovery.
Now.
I'm just saying, no, there's some talent over there with the Cardinals. They just they've had some bad luck, and that's part of the NFL is staying healthy and playing good football at the right time.
Yeah.
I am not sleeping on the Cardinals, haven't been sleeping, and after last night's performance, I'm really losing sleep.
All right, well, what are we making of the Seahawks, and what would be the kind of like massive blockbuster trade they could still make today? Rob Staten joins us next.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Ryan Rowland-Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7. So you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition product.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news this morning, the Seahawks are reportedly trading for Saints wide receiver Rashid Shaheed per Tom Pelissero. Seattle wideout Cooper Kupp missed Sunday with a hamstring injury. Also, another blockbuster this morning as we inch near the trade deadline at 1 p.m. The Colts are acquiring Sauce Gardner from the Jets for a pair of first-round picks. That from Adam Schefter. Sauce Gardner appearing to confirm, tweeting, quote, New York, it's been real.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Rob Staten of Seahawks Draft Blog joining us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Rob, a massive Sunday night football win for the Seattle Seahawks. We had talked all week, including with you, about how it would be wonderful if they could make a statement in prime time, especially with a tight NFC race, and they sure did. What's still sticking with you after this one a few days later?
Jackson Smith and Jigba is unstoppable at the moment, and then the defense smothering the way that they masked their pressures and their coverages was just a great advert for everything that Mike McDonald's been doing on that defense for the last season and a half, just exposed to a national audience. So a great experience.
And it was great to see. I'm sorry you had to stay up so late, though I'm sure with a win, it ends up being easier. They basically won that in the first half. I know you want to finish games out, but I think we all knew where that one was going. Let's talk about just Sam Darnold. One of the themes that we've been kind of revisiting all year long has been, oh, wow, he's such a pleasant surprise. And I think now we can confidently say he's grown from 2024. And this is actually one of the best passing offenses in football. I think the best by DVOA, if I'm not mistaken. And so I think that there are areas where you can look and see, oh, wow, Sam's actually better than he was in 2024. That didn't feel like something that a national audience had left open as a possibility this year. Where have you seen him grow most?
He's incredibly efficient, and he's doing what needs to be done, but then just with that extra bit of flair and that physical talent that you often see. I thought that first touchdown pass, it's great that Torrey Horton got it and he got a lot of the attention. I thought that was an unbelievable play by Sam Darnold because he was under pressure, he's on the move, he was off balance, was kind of leaning back a little bit, and then just delivered that pass with perfect velocity on the money for Torrey Horton. Very accurate throw into tight coverage. It was not a wide open Torrey Horton. It wasn't like the second touchdown to Horton. This was a pass that had to be delivered. And most quarterbacks who get into that sort of funny body shape and maybe leaning back a little bit, there's all sorts of opportunities for that to be an inaccurate pass and or just not get the velocity required to complete it. It really shows just how good he is. And you can see that third overall pick, physical talent, and that's always been there. But now he's using that along with that composure and that efficiency to become a really dominant player. And I can't remember a first half from a quarterback since Tom Brady was doing that sort of thing when they had that record-setting season. It was really enjoyable to watch. It speaks to the fact that the Seahawks are probably now shaping into a team that can be taken very seriously in the NFC. You have to have a quarterback who can play like he's playing, and they've got it.
Speaking of shaping into one of the better teams in the NFC, they are tied for the best record. Philly, Tampa Bay, Seattle, the Rams, all at 6-2. San Francisco at 6-3. Of that group, is Seattle just as much a favorite as any to be in the NFC Championship or in a Super Bowl? Is there still something separating some other teams from Seattle? What do you see?
Every single week, I've kind of thought there is probably a team or two that are ahead of Seattle in the NFC. And I'm increasingly wondering if that is the case, actually, because Seattle, you could make an argument that they should be 8-0. They should have beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a really bad, uncharacteristic defensive performance from the Seahawks in that game. They should have won that game. They were leading by a touchdown late in the fourth quarter. They should have finished things off. And against the Niners, it's a great play from Nick Bosa at the end. I thought it was a weird play call, game plan from the Seahawks the whole week in week one, the whole game in week one. So really, those two games could easily have been wins at home. And then they're 8-0. And you look at some of these other teams, like I probably would have assumed that the Packers are maybe ahead of the Seahawks. And then they go and lose at home to the Panthers, who were, I think, 13.5 point underdogs in that game. You look at the Lions, like I would have imagined that there was no chance the Vikings are going to go and beat the Lions. I thought it was going to be a closer game than maybe the odds were suggesting. I think they were 8.5 point favorites. I thought it'd been closer than that. But they beat them. And the Seahawks have not lost to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. They've lost to the 49ers and they've lost to the Buccaneers. And they could have easily have won both games. So I'm starting to think that there's no reason to rank anybody ahead of the Seahawks in the NFC.
I'm loving the take, Rob, and I know that listeners absolutely will. Okay, I was pulling up. I apologize for looking at my phone. I wanted to pull up this tweet from Greg Olsen. Did you see it? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Made the rounds. Okay, so for anyone who did not see it, Greg Olsen said on Sunday night, can we all agree on one thing? Seattle is not a good rushing team. They are a heavy personnel passing team. If defenses are striving to stop the run, they are mistaken. It went viral in the Seahawks community because I think a lot of people thought that Greg was taking a shot. And while count me among the people who sometimes wonders, like, does Greg Olsen not like the Seahawks? He also wasn't fundamentally wrong. I mean, it was a really interesting point by a former player, someone who knows football, by a current analyst. What did you make, A, of Greg's critique, and B, overall, what do you see, Rob, when it comes to the Seahawks run game and how they try to incorporate it, or maybe fail to, in the offense?
It's a tweet you have to read twice to sort of really, I think, grasp the point that he's making. And I think he clarified that it wasn't a dig or anything, that it wasn't a criticism. But it is something you kind of have to read through a couple of times. And what he's saying makes perfect sense. You know, they're not running the ball particularly well, but they are facing more stat boxes than any other team in the NFL, or at least they were going into that weekend. And I think his argument is there's no real reason to do that because they're just kind of making it that the Seahawks are capitalizing on that in their passing game. Now, the one thing they're not doing is capitalizing on the running game in those situations. We've seen the running game has not been very good. Greg Olsen is absolutely correct when he asserts that. The Seahawks, I believe, are amongst the worst teams rushing against the stat box. So there's definitely work to be done there if they're going to face those situations. But I just love the fact that everything he says is correct, and it's a sign that the Seahawks have probably putting teams in a bind. Like, teams are now going to have to look at this and go, well, do we do things differently? Are we going to sort of put more players in coverage? Are we going to get out of base defense to play the Seahawks offense? And is that therefore going to open up the opportunities that maybe the Seahawks have been waiting for to run the ball a lot better and show what they did in that Kansas City preseason game? Because if teams are then going to do that, this might it might unlock the running game. And then if that happens in a contest, what happens after that? Does everybody go back to stacking the box all the time against the Seahawks and we just see the inevitable 130 yards of Jackson Smith and Jigba and Sam Darnold looking great again? So now teams are going into their game planning week to week. I always felt like in the LOB era, it was the hardest thing for teams to work out how they were going to handle the scrambling ability and the arm of Russell Wilson combined with the physicality of Marshawn Lynch. Like, you kind of have to pick your poison on how you're going to deal with that. And maybe that's what teams are now going to be faced with, a similar dilemma with different personnel. Are they going to continue to stack the box against the Seahawks and accept that Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba in this passing game are going to be what they are and they've got to try and find other ways to beat the Seahawks? Or are they going to adjust? And is that going to open up the running game? And that could actually be the thing that takes the offense to the next level. Because I don't think Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba, I don't think there's going to be a way for teams to stop them. I think there is an inevitability about the passing game at the minute, which I think even if you do a bit of coverage, the Seahawks will have probably answers to those moves as well.
You've mostly answered my next question, but I just want to harp on it a little bit more. I was going to ask, okay, well, how might other defenses adjust? We spoke with ESPN's Benjamin Solak, who mentioned the same stat you did. He said Sam Darnold is facing more stack boxes than any quarterback, and so obviously it's opening up the pass game. That is like one small aspect of what you've seen from Seattle's pass game, but it's not the only thing. JSN has been amazing. Sam Darnold's been amazing. There's been an improvement in pass pro. All of that is true. But Ben said eventually defenses will adjust and they'll try to force Seattle to run. So you think, like, if you're Clint Kubiak, if you're Mike McDonald, you're like, great, fantastic, let's see what we got here. Do you think that's something we will see here in the next couple weeks against Seattle? And what does passing that test look like?
I would imagine it's almost certain we're going to see that. Yeah. If Sam Darnold is having a 17 out of 17 completions, 4 touchdown half, Jackson Smith and Jigba is leading the NFL in receiving yards, and he's the only player over 900 yards. He's on pace to set the record for yardage in a season. Then I think it's certain that there will be teams thinking we've got to do something different here. I can't wait. And if I was the Seahawks, I'd be saying, bring it on. I want to see how they deal with this, because I can't guarantee that it's going to work for the Seahawks, but I think, and I accept it's preseason. You know, that Kansas City game, when they ran the ball the way that they did, was so exciting to think that, well, there might be a bit of this. And we've not seen any of it. And I have to believe that the stat boxes are playing a part in that. And if teams are going to take attention away from that line of scrimmage, if they're going to get out of base on Seattle, I think we're going to see Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet and these offensive linemen. It's just going to open things up, and we're going to view this offense very, very differently. And they may well have a 150, 200-yard rushing performance. And then and I want to see that more than anything, because then for the rest of the season, including in the postseason, teams are going to have to pick what they're going to do. And if they know that you can beat them in two different ways, it's going to make it so much harder. So I say, I encourage it. I want the Arizona Cardinals this weekend to do exactly that, to get out of base and let the Seahawks show the league that if you give them the opportunity to, they will dominate in the running game.
Okay, so today's the trade deadline. Switching gears here to look a little bit at where this team is. I don't want to ask you about like pieces you'd want to add per se, but maybe areas where you have either some depth concerns, injury concerns, where you think, God, they could really stand to shore this up. Are there any areas of this team where your pie in the sky vision of a trade deadline in just a couple hours would see them adding something? And I'll also include, Rob, the possibility that they could add on waivers, or that you'd just like to see them kind of fine tune.
Well, I got a bit carried away yesterday because I was reading all of this stuff and listening to it. Like Jay Glazer's on Fox and he's going, "Oh, look, the Seahawks have been really aggressive." And then you've got Adam Schefter. He was sort of hinting at something. He had a big smile on his face. Like he basically was saying to everybody, "I know something that you don't know." And I'm starting to wonder, is there something big happening here? And there's been one or two other reporters, like Albert Breers said today, the Seahawks are kind of in on everything. So I allowed my mind to wander. As I was driving home from work yesterday, I was dreaming of Myles Garrett in a Seahawks uniform, and I've not gone there. But that's what I was daydreaming about. It perhaps says a lot about me that that's what I daydream about as I'm driving along. It's Myles Garrett rushing Matt Stafford against the Rams in a couple of weeks.
Naturally.
But I would love to see them make a big move if it is possible. It will not be good for business in terms of Seahawks draft block if the Seahawks give away all of their draft picks next year. Like, the people will not want to read as much about the draft in March. They don't have any draft picks. However, I'm here for it, because the more I study this draft class, it lacks talent at the top end and it lacks depth. There has never been a better year, in my opinion, to sort of say, I'm going to be aggressive with my draft picks and use them to improve this year. And coinciding with the fact that the draft's not going to be very strong next year is the Seahawks emerging in a wide open NFL with an opportunity to do something special. So I'm all in on this. Whatever they do, if it's a couple of moves for a third or a fourth or something like that to bring a bit of depth in at linebacker or cornerback or another weapon or an offensive lineman, fine. I'm down with that. If they want to go big, if they want to go like 2 first-round picks for somebody or first-round pick and a third, there'll be no complaints from me when that deadline passes later today.
I would love to see that happen, and knowing that you spend so much time so in depth with the draft class, it is reassuring. Obviously, the author of Seahawks Draft Blog, to hear like, look, if there ever was a class where you could move on from that. It's so funny, Rob. I mean, even when we're looking back a little bit, I began this season thinking it would be really cool if Sam Darnold works out, but I'm kind of assuming in the back of my mind that this team will find their quarterback of the future, right? Because you kind of, even though Seattle ended up finding Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, or you have plenty of other class. I mean, Brock Purdy is like the best example, or even Tom Brady is obviously the best example of like either late round picks or unexpected picks. But overall, I find that I still have this unconscious thought sometimes that they will have found their quarterback of the future, and certainly their franchise person in this class, maybe in 2027. Have you found yourself thinking that person could very well be Sam Darnold?
At the start of the year, I wrote a piece saying I would not trade for Micah Parsons for exactly that reason. That if Sam Darnold doesn't work out, you have to be able to have the draft flexibility to either be aggressive to go and get a quarterback or to just simply outright draft one. And I've completely changed on that. It is a bit of Sam Darnold looking as good as he is, and touch wood, that carries on. But I'm also sort of accepting that things change and form can fluctuate. So I'm not completely sort of, okay, give him a 5-year contract now, give him a massive pay increase. You've definitely found the answer. But I think he's shown enough that when it gets to this trade deadline, you have to make a call now, today. What are you going to do? And I think if you make a call now on the draft pick, you have to sort of look at Sam Darnold's body of work so far and say, this is the answer. This is going to be the answer for the near future. So I am more prepared to do that. And also, having studied this draft class, my word, you are not going to find like pick a position. Is it going to be deep at cornerback? No. Are there a ton of edge rushers? No. Are there a bunch of defensive tackles, defensive linemen generally that you can go and get? No. There are a handful of right tackles who could convert to right guard who are going to be pretty interesting potentially for the Seahawks if they want to go in that direction. They're not necessarily going to be first-round picks, though. So I think everything is pointing in the direction of back Sam Darnold, back the rest of the players on this roster, and go all in. If they don't, I'm sure it won't be for the want of trying. It sounds like they're being very, very aggressive here. Sometimes you just have to accept that teams are not going to trade away their best players. But I've got to admit, it's made for a really interesting Monday and Tuesday. It's kind of occupied my mind for the last couple of days on what they might actually do before the deadline.
I mean, I am loving that we're having a conversation about, like, well, how do they become an even more dominant threat, right? It's only up from here. Speaking of, let's, between you and I, think of a checklist right now for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to task you with coming up with 2 more things that you want to see them check off. If I were to come up with a checklist for this team, number 1 was going to be like statement win. Put yourself out there in a public conversation. Create a ton of buzz. For me, selfishly, I wanted to see this team do that, and they did. So that's check 1. 2 more things, Rob, if you were to choose, where you were like, my confidence is through the roof if I see them check off these 2 things. What would those be?
1, beat the Rams.
Of course.
2, beat the 49ers.
Done.
I think you're right. I think a statement win in prime time. I think running the ball, particularly well over a bit more consistent period. But it is going to LA and winning that game, and it is. I'm trying to think who's coming up. It probably is the Niners and the Rams that you're going to be looking to now. Is like they're the toughest games you've got left on your schedule. I'd look if they were playing a Bills on the road or something like that. It'd be like go and win that game. Go toe to toe with a team that people fully expect to be there at the end, a Chiefs, a Bills, somebody like that, and go and beat them. And because we don't have the option or the opportunity to play those teams, I think it's going to the Rams and showing that we can win, not against the backups like last year. It's like going in there, NFC West contest, go and win that. If you have to beat the Niners to go and win the NFC West on the final weekend of the season, you go and do it. That's what I'm looking for now. That loss to the Niners is going to stick with you. In Parks, I traveled 5,000 miles to go and watch it. I want to see some different results in the NFC West. So go and win out the rest of these games in what looks like the best division in football. And then I think you can go into the postseason thinking, we can have a little bit of a flex here. We are one of the teams to beat in the playoffs.
One of our absolute favorite guests that we have on, and I know you guys are excited every single week. You can find more from Rob at Seahawks Draft Blog. Also, we post all of Rob's interviews if you want to check out this one. Say you tuned in a couple minutes too late or see any previous interviews. He has been on it every single week. Rob Staten. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Stacy.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What does the Rashid trade tell you?
It tells me that the Cooper Kupp injury might be a bit more concerning, and it tells me that they see a strength in their team and they just want to enhance it. The best part of this offense is the pass game. It's Sam Darnold, it's the run threat, but the pass capabilities. It tells me that Torrey Horton is emerging, but they need someone right here, right now. Rashid on this offense, he immediately becomes the fastest player on the team. I think K9 can kind of rock with him a little bit, but Rashid, 3 out of the 5 weeks, when I look up next-gen stats, he's the fastest ball carrier in the game. This is great, and also enhances your special teams. I feel bad for guys like Derek Young, for Jake Bobo, for Cody White, because they immediately get pushed down a couple of notches when it comes to the depth chart. But it means that, look, they see a strength and they want to get stronger. And I think that you and I have had the conversation. You brought it up that add to a strength or add to a perceived weakness? And me personally, I was like, well, add to weakness. You were like, all right, I'm with adding to a strength as well. I think you were talking about the defensive line, but this is the same type of concept, right? Yeah. I think Rashid is going to make this offense even more explosive. Y'all better be careful, man. This is exciting. It's a bigger move than I think people think.
Second down. Who jumped out to you during your film study?
I love watching film, Stacy. I'll stay up too late watching film.
This isn't surprising to any of the three of us.
I love it. I like knowing the why and the how and the when. We're going to talk about this defense as a whole a little bit later, but no surprise, Devin Witherspoon, it's different. It is different watching him play football. My guy is probably a $180, $185. That's what he's listed as. He's probably like a $175. And the intensity that he plays with is infectious. I love the way he talks to the opposition when he makes a play. He does it in the right way. Like Reek got caught up because he flexed a little too long. Yeah. Like Devin Witherspoon will make a play, look at the sideline, and do it. The timing is perfect. He'll give him the glance, do his whatever, and then walk away. But the way that Devin Witherspoon plays this game is the way that I think Mike McDonald wants everyone on defense to play. It's impressive. I love watching film when he's on the football field. And a side note, the jersey combination between the Hawks and the Commanders on Sunday Night Football was beautiful. I love watching film with pretty uniforms.
I felt like second only to the throwbacks with the Seahawks and the Bucks.
Yeah.
That was the best uni combo league-wide this year, I think.
It takes you back. It's old school but modern at the same time. Yeah, I love it.
You know what uni combos I hate is when there are two shades of the same color, right? Like Titans, Panthers, or like just two shades of blue that are, or like Jags with like a Titans kind of like two conflicting. I don't like that.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Curtis, NBA, I love the alternative jerseys, but sometimes they do too much though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nike should maybe take a break every few years on releasing alternate jerseys.
Yeah,
because they just oversaturate the market.
It's too much, but they know people are going to buy it though.
Yeah. Third down. Who should be aggressive at the trade deadline?
So I wrote this question, and then I second-guessed myself after I wrote it because I'm like, should this be the approach? I'm looking at the New York Football Giants, and I'm like, how aggressive should they be? Because they're not going to win the division this year. And you have a quarterback who I think is going to be the guy for the next few years. You have a running back in Scatterboo. You have a wideout with Neighbors. Both those guys are injured. You have a defensive line who, when healthy, is good. Dexter Lawrence is healthy. He's playing. Thibodeau's playing good. But I'm like, all right, so does a trade put them over the top after the trade deadline? Because you look at the NFC West, it used to be, NFC East, it used to be one of the tighter divisions. Now it's not. Commanders are down. Cowboys are down. It's really just the Cowboys, and they're down as well. So I'm asking myself, how aggressive should they be at the trade deadline? I think they should do something, but also hold on to some picks. But I think the Giants are a team that's going to be on the rise in the next 2 years.
Ooh, on the rise?
On the rise.
I mean, Scatterboo was really exciting. Dart looked pretty good. I like that one. And you have to consider they don't have Neighbors, too, who got injured earlier this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They looking
That's a good one.
Looking all right.
Fourth down. Another New York team. What do the Jets remind you of?
New York, East Coast. The Jets remind me of that house that you know you have to go to during Halloween because you know they're going to give good candy. They got a roster for days. Sauce is gone. Where'd he go?
Colts.
Quentin Williams is gone. Where'd he go?
Dallas.
I'm looking at Breece Hall. Garrett just signed a deal, so I'm not touching that, obviously. But there's so much talent over there that you have to at least pick up the phone and say, you know what, hey, let's talk. Because they got some weapons over there. So if I'm any NFL team, you have what? 2.5 hours? Hour and a half? Something like that?
1 p.m.
1 p.m.? So, if I'm any team looking to make some moves to get some talent, I'm going to the big house that gives out full-size Snicker bars. That is the Jets.
Sportsnet Blue Jays analyst Caleb Joseph let it fly on Saturday night during Game 7's post-game show. Plus, Tom Brady reminds us that rich people are just kind of different. That's next.
The NFL trade deadline is here today at 1 p.m.
Something is going on in Seattle.
I've been screaming linebacker.
Seattle would be a team to watch.
I think we're looking at it through the lens of, is this going to help our team now and in the future?
Will the Hawks make moves? Find out here first.
Schneider and McDonald, they don't sit on their hands.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Go inside the rumor mill and every move at seattlesports.com.
Stacy here to tell you that I have had a horrible experience buying and selling a car. So I know a good one when I see it and feel it. And that's why I want to tell you about Wayscar Ford in Auburn. These are real people, Mark and Chris and Way himself. I know them, and you will too. And they want you to have a hassle-free, no-pressure experience when you're looking to sell your car or buy a new one. And let me tell you what, trusting the people you're working with is massive. Again, I sold my car years ago to this place that absolutely ripped me off, and I wish I would have known about what Wayscar Ford does, which is this. You sell your car to Wayscar Ford and get paid for it that day. Then, when they resell your old car, they split half the profit with you. It's not a consignment. It just lets them save money on auction fees and stuff that they'd rather share with customers, and it lets you avoid scams. Plus, you can upgrade to a new model from their vast inventory like I did. I recommend a Bronco Sport. I'm absolutely obsessed with mine. They've just surpassed sharing over $1 million with people who have sold them their cars. Find out how you can do it too at wayscarford.com.
The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, and we are going to start with a look back at Game 7, but for good reason, because there's some fun sound that we want to get to here.
What's not to like about Game 7?
What's not to like about Game 7? If you're a Dodgers fan like Bump, it was a fantastic day, and if you're a Blue Jays fan, it was devastating. Sportsnet Blue Jays analyst Caleb Joseph really let it fly on Saturday night during that Game 7 postgame.
There were a lot of wet eyes, and I don't doubt him, and I don't blame him for that. And it's going to sound like sour grapes, and I don't really get. I think the better team did not win this series. I think the Blue Jays are the better team, and I feel like they played baseball a certain way that was infectious, that grabbed the attention of the fans, and it's disheartening to see that the better team did not win. And that's not to take anything away from the Dodgers, but the Blue Jays, they did so many things correct. They did so many things right, and Lady Luck just did not fall on their watch.
He kept it going.
This is a crushing loss. I've spent 18 years in the big leagues, and this is the most devastating loss that I've ever experienced, and I'm not even, part of it. But the ups and downs, the twists, the turns that this team took us through the entire season makes this so heartbreaking because, like I've said earlier, you just feel like the baseball gods got it wrong this time, and they normally don't. And I hate it for the guys. It's absolutely devastating, and I guarantee those guys in there are absolutely crushed.
That's absolutely heartbreaking and crushing for the Blue Jays. It would take me a lifetime to get over this. I don't think I would as a player, as a fan. However, Bump, it is a little interesting to hear Caleb say, I don't want to take anything away from the Dodgers, but God got it wrong.
Hey, first off,
wild.
As soon as you put, now I'm not a very religious man. I believe in God, but I'm not very religious. As soon as you put God into the situation, baseball gods, according to the Bible, God don't get it wrong. Okay? So
what about the baseball gods?
You're challenging the whole premise of what gods are. There's a purpose for that. Second, man, shut your mouth, man. Be a pro in that situation. All right, we sat here and gave Toronto all the kudos because they won that series. This ain't football where you can get hot for a day and you win that series. All right, listen, you can say the team that played baseball the way that I like to see it being played didn't win the game. I understand that. But on paper, you look at stats, the Blue Jays played better than the Dodgers on stats. What stats don't take into account, clutch plays. The number 9 hitter Rojas going yard. We got beat up by the 7, 8, 9 batters here in Seattle. All right, you just take it on the chin. I saw that on Instagram, and I'm a frequent commenter on Instagram. I will comment on anything. And I don't know who posted that. I just commented, be a pro in that situation. Just be a pro. They didn't make the plays they're supposed to be made. Bases jacked, 1 out in the 9th, and you didn't win that ball game.
Right. Were you the better team?
Like, come on, man. We know who the more talented team was in that series. But the Blue Jays did play better baseball, but they didn't have the clutch moments that the Dodgers had. You got to be a pro in that moment. We come on the show every day, and after a loss to the Toronto Blue Jays, we are devastated, we're heartbroken, but we also say, listen, this is what they did to win that ball game. The fact that he's a fan in that moment, and we all have our fan moments, I get that. But I didn't watch his whole commentary. Maybe there was a moment where he did give the Dodgers love. I don't know. I'm just reacting to this little snippet that we have. But just be a pro in that moment. The Blue Jays played better, but didn't have the more clutch moments.
Respectfully, it's a little self-righteous. And I've completely, being self-righteous feels great. I've done it a million times. I've been petty. I said I hope the Blue Jays lose and suffer in a heartbreaking way because the Mariners did. That's not a baseball reason to say that. It's purely from a fan perspective. So I am guilty of doing exactly what Caleb Joseph did. You can be an analyst or a host and still have moments where you're kind of a fan or where you get a little personal because you talk about it all the time and you go along the journey. So I completely understand. And this isn't a personal thing. I do think it's self-righteous, though. And I think that this is where you kind of, you're not a victim. You're not a true underdog. Do the Dodgers have a higher payroll? Yes. You were still 5th in payroll. You were an incredibly talented team. You were a brilliant offense. It was hard fought. It was the best World Series I can remember watching, and the Blue Jays should be proud of that, and they've got a good group to bring back. But can you say in a best of 7 in a World Series that the best team or the better team lost? It was a best of 7, including multiple games that went into extras.
Yeah.
And while you can look at what the Blue Jays did, they were just such a a suffocating offense in a way that was awful when you played them, and I'm sure incredibly enjoyable as a Blue Jays fan because they would just stack on and hang crooked numbers regularly. But you also had fundamental errors. What's not showing up in your average are all the base running mistakes that you were making.
Right.
The Dodgers weren't making those mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, just the managerial decisions that Roberts made that Schneider didn't. So, again, did the Blue Jays hit for a better average? Yes. Were they in a few statistical areas the better team? Absolutely. But you cannot say holistically they were a better team when they made mistakes that cost them the game.
Exactly.
You can't say that.
The margin of victory is so slim when you get to the elite stage of a World Series, a Super Bowl, NBA Finals. You can't make silly mistakes, especially against a team that spent $1 billion on their roster. And the number 9 hitter really won that game for him. And Will Smith, the guy who only hit 2 home runs the whole postseason, won that game. Get over it, man. Cry me a river.
Next up, Tom Brady continues to do things just a little differently than everyone else. A reminder that rich people are different. Brady tells People magazine, this is real, that he cloned his dog, Junie, from his dog, Lua, that passed away in 2023. That's right. Brady's current dog is a clone of his previous dog.
Way to remind me that I'm poor.
Again, that's the thing. Is like you'll talk about being in first class or having a shower bench, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is some rich people stuff. This is, you know what I mean? I wasn't familiar with your game, Tom.
I thought I made it. I thought my Alaska Miles put me in first class.
Not until you clone your dog.
Clone your dog. Isn't that kind of weird? Don't you want like a dog? I wonder if the dog has the same personality as the dog you clone. Because that's part of the deal with dogs. Like you love their personalities and who they are. Is this the same type of dog?
Probably not exactly the same, but the idea would be like we cloned so that it looks the same. And this is also not the first person to do this. I mean, the first celebrity. I'm sure many other incredibly rich people have done a version of this, but Barbara Streisand and Paris Hilton both had their dogs cloned. Mm-hmm.
That's weird, man.
Right?
It's weird to me because I can't fathom it because I don't have coin like that. Maybe if I had the money to do that, I might experiment with it. But I've had 2 dogs my whole life, and I guess I would want them back.
What if you could? Would you spend the money?
If I had it,
if you were told, let's pretend that you did and pretend that it was just something that's like, you know, it's worth it to me. I've got the money for this.
You know what? I would do it for my kids because they're the most heartbroken when it comes to dogs passing. Maybe for my kids. So all right, Tom. But Tom's he's a bachelor. He's out there on his own. I don't think he's doing it for his kids. That's for him.
Yeah, but I mean, this man's best friend.
That's what they say.
Yeah. So that's crazy. I saw that and I thought it was a fake account and then realized, like, no, this is real.
That's different kind of money.
How about some more Toronto misery? During Saturday's Hockey Night in Canada broadcast of Edmonton and Chicago, the broadcast team jumped the gun on a Blue Jays Game 7 victory.
Capani rides him into the boards. Henry creates a drive back behind. The Blue Jays have just won the World Series. Or no, they're calling him out at home. Forced out, 2 out, 9th inning.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You got to be sure. That's like when me and Moyer and Big Ray and B. Wald are watching the game from the press box, and we think the field goal is good, we always wait.
automatically.
We got to wait for the refs to be like, all right, because our angle's all jacked up. Yeah, he jumped the gun on that one, and I'm happy that he jumped the gun because I have friends from Canada, and I remind them that you guys aren't as nice as you think you are. You guys act like you are just the nicest people in the world. When it comes to sports,
Yes.
y'all on some other stuff.
This is what every fan base, except for Philly fans, which are awful. They're awful people. But this is what every fan base gets wrong. And people do this in general, so I don't think it's unique to sports fans, but sports fan bases are like the perfect way to embody this. People think that they are different than other people, usually better, smarter, more moral, whatever. And 99% of people are the same. They want the same things. They act the same. They make similar decisions. They have the same good and bad reactions. Most people are the same with some differences based on like regional things or, what have you. But like most fan bases are the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you think you're better than someone else and then you get like really self-righteous. So I found myself thinking about that a lot with like the George Springer being like, oh, these horrible fans booing George Springer. And it's like, shut up. Every fan base does everything the same. Everyone is the same. You're not better than anyone else. You're the same. And that makes you feel small. That's like a truthism to like life, like expanding it outside of sports. I just think most people want to feel like they're different. And so that's been really grinding my gears with the kind of Toronto fan base facing the Dodgers, who were seen as like the Goliath. And it's like, you guys are a Goliath too. This is not. No. You aren't the good guys here. These are just two very good teams playing a really fun World Series, and I'm sorry for that heartbreak.
Team.
That is heartbreak that
They're
I
nice
don't wish on
people.
anyone.
Canadians.
Everyone's the same. Everyone is the same.
You know what? You should run for mayor, and that should be your slogan. Everyone is the same.
That's going to be, yeah, exactly. All right, we got a little film study coming up next. Bump is going to explain why the Seahawks are officially one of the best defenses in football.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
It's comedian Tom Segura at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center with an encore performance Saturday night, November 29th.
I want to be that type of old. It's an old where you get yelled at for saying you want to be helpful. Like when an old person's like, I'll take out the trash. Someone's like, are you out of your mind? Your spinal snapped. Sit down.
Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Tom Segura's Come Together Tour, November 29th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Nobody hooks you up like Popeyes. The big box is the reward that keeps on rewarding. Crack it open and you're greeted by 2 pieces of crispy signature chicken. Or if you want, 3 tenders, nestled in there with the 2 sides speaking to you most in this moment. You got that biscuit, and what are you waiting for? Dig right on in. That's feast mode activated, and you're in big box business for $6. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and having to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right. Joining us in less than 15, ESPN's Brady Henderson, obviously to react to the Seahawks trade this morning. And we'll ask him if he's hearing rumors of another move for Seattle a little over an hour until the trade deadline. Right now, film study with Michael Bumpus. Bump, you've been watching a lot of Seahawks tape, and you have come to the conclusion that the Seahawks are officially one of the best defenses in the league. And before anyone says, we already knew that, just wait, because Bump's got some stuff for us here. What'd you find?
And before anyone says, well, they just played the Commanders. There's no Terry McLaurin. There's no Austin Eckler. Daniels were down in the fourth quarter. I get that. But it's deeper than just who they're playing. Like, I'm watching just the integrity of this defense, and it's the little things, right? So when I played, I also listened. Obviously, I'm an offensive guy, but I listened to how the defensive coaches coach their players, right? I was always interested in what the defense is trying to do and why they're trying to do it and how they're trying to do it, because it helped me be a better receiver. It helped me understand the offense. And I'm looking at just the little things that this defense is doing, and I'm impressed by it. I'll start with Uchenna Nwosu. When you're playing a guy like Jaden Daniels, you know that Uchenna knows he is reading you, the last man on the line of scrimmage. He's reading you. If you bite on the run, he's going to pull it. If you stay put and eyes on him, he's going to give it to him, and it allows your defensive linemen and linebackers to eat and get these tackles. I'm looking at Uchenna take on pulling guards with his inside shoulder, pop them and be disciplined and stay there and make Jaden Daniels declare exactly what he's doing. Super impressed. And I was thinking about our conversation we had yesterday about why Boye Mafe is in the rumor mill. Why? Because of what Uchenna's doing. I'm watching Uchenna, and I'm like, my man is on another level right now. He's playing some dang good football. So I'll start there. I'm looking at Leonard Williams and the gap integrity. Everyone knows that Leonard Williams wants to, he's a game wrecker, he gets after the quarterback, all that good stuff. But he is controlling his gap. There was a play where there was a jet sweep. So motioning from right to left, hand the football off to Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel goes. He easily could have just taken after or taken off after Deebo Samuel, but he stays in his gap just in case there's a fake and you hand the football off. Gap integrity. I'm looking at the way Devin Witherspoon has been playing. Well, last game he played, right? And there was a situation, it was 3rd and like 15 or 18, and they essentially they give the defense or the offense a 3-high safety look, but Spoon is in the middle, right? They're playing like a prevent type of deal. You got 3 safeties. Spoon is he's like playing like a safety. Corners on the outside. They're playing for depth. The safety, or excuse me, the linebackers are playing hook to curl to flat. And there's a tight end who's running a route that's about 10 yards, and they need to get 15. And instead of just breaking on the tight end, Spoon is like stalking him. He's like that National Geographic when you see the lioness stalking an impala. You know what I'm saying?
Impala?
And he's just sitting there just waiting. Like, I know that's my responsibility. I'm going to get him, but I'm waiting. I got to wait till that ball is thrown just in case something else happens. Ball is thrown, boom, he's downhill making it happen. I'm looking at Drake May. Drake Thomas. Big ups Drake May. Drake Thomas. And I'm watching him, and my dude is smaller than me. 5'11", 195. My dude might be like 5'9", probably weighs as much as me because muscle weighs more than fat, right? I'm not as lean as I used to be. And he's taking on guards just like you're supposed to. I sent this to Paul Moyer and Big Ray and B. Wald and NASA, our group. And I said, I love what 42 is doing. He's fitting up the guard, shedding them, gap integrity, and then getting downhill. Just the discipline that this defense is playing with right now is really impressive. And I didn't even mention Nick Imaware. They're blitzing him off the edge. He plays with intensity. Kobe Bryant, I was really impressed. And I know people can say, look, they played against Commanders. I get that. But I'm not talking about the opponent. I'm talking about just them handling their responsibilities, doing what they're supposed to do, and not being selfish. It would be so easy for Leonard Williams to be like, forget it. I'm running after this jet sweep. Knowing I got the A gap. And what that does, if you run after that jet sweep, they're going to run it again. You know they're going to fake the jet sweep. They're going to hand it to the running back, and the running back's going to bust it for 10, 15 yards. It's just the integrity that this defense is playing with right now is really impressive.
The lioness stalking the impala is so funny. It's such funny imagery. But you're right. But, yeah, it's just this feeling of this defense, everyone calling for, aggressiveness and violence and physicality. Got that. But importantly, this defense, and I'm glad you mentioned that, also it's just sound. It's smart. It's prepared. And that matters just as much. I feel like for the longest time, we just wanted great personnel here. And you saw people going, God, it's just like, you used to have, an all-pro corner and like one of the league's hardest hitting safeties. And you had Bobby Wagner in his prime. And like, there was just a very clear gap with the talent that you had, and then it felt like that gap went away. And I think people were so longing for talent itself, just for the sake of talent to be back, which is great. I do think they have a lot of it, that we've forgotten how like smart and a step ahead that modern defenses can be. And so it's cool to see that here.
You just got to do your job on defense. I mean, because every gap is accounted for. Every area of the field is accounted for. On the second level, obviously on the offensive line or defensive line, you have the A's, the B's, the C's, and then outside when you talk about gap integrity. Then you have the hook to curl to flat on the second level. Then you have either deep halves, deep thirds, or deep quarters. Whatever they have, they are putting themselves in position to make a play. They're not going to make every play, right? Because one false step and a guy is open, but the fact that they are where they are supposed to be is really impressive. And you're doing that with a backup in Drake Thomas, a backup in Ty Okada, Josh Jobe. He played 18 plays before Ty Okada knocked him out the game. You're doing it with guys on the defensive line. It's just being where you're supposed to be. You're going to have opportunities to make plays. And I spent hours yesterday watching that film and was really impressed with them just doing their jobs. You do your job, you're going to have opportunity to make plays.
The Seahawks made a move this morning ahead of the trade deadline. So what's it mean for their offense? And also, is there another move still to come? ESPN's Brady Henderson joins us next.
The NFL trade deadline is here today at 1 p.m.
Something is going on in Seattle.
I've been screaming linebacker, linebacker, linebacker.
Seattle would be a team to watch.
I think we're looking at it through the lens of, is this going to help our team now and in the future?
Will the Hawks make moves? Find out here first.
Schneider and McDonald, they don't sit on their hands.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Go inside the rumor mill and every move at seattlesports.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales report 2025.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
For the first time ever, enjoy 0% interest for 60 months with equal monthly payments, plus 15% off new windows and doors only from Lake Washington Windows. Voted the best in the Northwest for comfort, quality, and savings. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Seahawks made a trade this morning, adding to their wide receiver room with Saints wideout Rashid Shaheed. The Seahawks sent a 4th and 5th round pick for Shaheed, who has nearly 500 yards this season, second only to Chris Olave, plus familiarity with current Seahawks OC Clint Kubiak. A blockbuster this morning elsewhere as we inch near the deadline, which is at 1 p.m. The Colts acquiring Sauce Gardner from the Jets for a pair of first-round picks.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Already a flurry of moves today ahead of the 1 p.m. NFL trade deadline. Let's talk about one the Seahawks made with ESPN's Brady Henderson joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Brady, the Seahawks acquired Saints wideout Rashid Shaheed this morning. Had you been hearing about them having interest in a wideout, and what's it mean for an already pretty explosive passing offense?
Yeah, I think that, the other people had reported that, and it made plenty of sense. And I think Rashid Shaheed in particular made plenty of sense. And I think that if you were to ask me if what was the most likeliest move, if they were going to make a move, what would be the most likely, I probably would have told you that it just felt like this was up there near the top of that list. You don't think of receiver as maybe necessarily being a glaring need for the Seahawks, but I think this is a reflection of the fact that, even though this is not relative to the rest of the NFL, a very 3-receiver heavy offense. I mean, the entire league is basically running with 3 receivers a good chunk of the time. So even teams on the lower end of that spectrum, I mean, the Seahawks still do it. The Seahawks still do it on over a third of their offensive plays. And so it just highlights the need for having 3 guys you really feel good about. And, with Cooper Kupp's injury history, I think maybe to a lesser extent, Torrey Horton's injury history, as good as he's been as a rookie so far, he did kind of get banged up in college and over the off season. So I think this is just a reflection of, the fact that the Seahawks, need 3 guys that they really feel good about, even though you kind of tend to think of this offense as, being more of that heavy personnel, style of offense. And then obviously, when you're acquiring a guy mid-season, you don't have the typical ramp-up time like you do in the summer to get that guy accustomed to your offense. And so when it's a guy like this who already knows the scheme and just can be a plug-and-play addition, then, yeah, it made a ton of sense.
What do you think this does for guys like, Brady, I'm an undrafted guy, struggle staying in the league. I think about Derek Young, Cody White, who just made a play, Jake Bobo. What do you think this move does for those guys?
Well, I think it depends on, what happens with Bobo and the Achilles injury, what happens with Tariq Young and the hip injury. We'll see how much time Cooper Kupp needs to miss. So a lot of those, we know exactly where he fits in the pecking order. I think really depends on kind of what the health situation is, with the rest of the receiver core. I sort of get the impression that this was in the works before, Kupp hurt his hamstring. I think it was in practice last week, and I think it was Bobo got hurt the same day. I kind of think that this was maybe in the works before that. I don't know that for sure, but that's my impression. So we'll see what happens with those other guys. Tariq Young obviously is one of their primary kickoff returners. And so that may be that's kind of another facet of this trade, is that Rashid Shaheed was an all-pro returner in 2023. I believe that was more so for his work as a punt returner, but he's done both. And, so we'll see what happens if Torrey Horton's obviously done a nice job in that role, but that does give them another punt return option in addition to someone who could step in for Young as the kickoff returner if Young has to miss some time.
Deadline's at 1. You think the Seahawks are done?
I don't think they're done trying. No, I don't think so. The names Reek Wallen and Boye Mafe have been out there for a reason. That's not just reporters, speculating. That's very well-founded stuff. And so it would not surprise me if one of those guys is on the move. Obviously, they gave up a 4th and a 5th round pick for Rashid Shaheed. So it never seemed like the Seahawks were going to trade Woolen or Mafe and just have that be the only thing they do. And I think Adam Schefter noted this the other day, that if they were to do that, they wouldn't be isolated moves. They would be sort of with an eye towards, helping them make other moves that would actually, add to their team. So, they gave up, 2 mid-round picks for a guy who is on an expiring contract. And so I imagine that there would be some motivation to maybe recoup some of that, again, assuming that they would make some other moves that would still, they still would feel good about the depth at those spots. I mean, Woolen is in a fascinating situation because, again, all the trade speculation is not just speculation. It's very well founded, but they keep needing him, right? Like he entered that game against Washington on Sunday night. He was going to be their 6th defensive back, their 3rd corner, and their 6th DB, who was going to play only in dime. And then Job goes down and he's back in the starting role. But, before Witherspoon went down, it looked like he was going to get demoted to that number 3 role. And then Witherspoon misses 5 games. And so he has to remain in a starting role. So as much as I think they would be interested in moving Woolen and helping, getting something in return that would help them right now, they keep suffering injuries at cornerback that are forcing them to rely on him. So that's just kind of the fascinating kind of dynamics at play with that situation as we have a little less than an hour to go.
What are your thoughts on Boye Mafe being mentioned in some of these deals? B, I look at just the depth that they have over there, the injuries. That's what concerns me as well. And I would want to hold on to Boye Mafe. What's their thinking behind that, and what do you think they should do?
Well, I think it's kind of generally, some of the specifics are different with him and Woolen, but generally speaking, it's 2 guys in the last year of their deals who just may not be part of the team's long-term future. And I think with Mafe specifically, I think he very well, like he's a good NFL player with some serious juice off the edge. I think you really got to wonder about where he fits sort of in the big picture when you realize that, okay, look who's coming up for extensions on this team this coming off season. It's going to be Charles Cross, Devin Witherspoon, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. So those are 3 guys at premium positions who are all they don't necessarily have to pay JSN and Witherspoon because, they would have the 5th-year option that they could push that out. But they are going to try to extend all 3 of those guys. And they will have to with Cross because, well, they won't have to, but he will be, only have the 1 year left on his deal by that point. So assuming they try to get all 3 of those guys done, you're talking about probably all 3 of those guys making at least $30 million per year in new money. So if you're just say, for the sake of argument, those are all something in the neighborhood of 4-year, $120 million extensions, those are massive upfront signing bonus cash payments that, could be $40 million a piece, something like that. So that's just not going to leave them with a lot of cash left over to re-sign other guys. Now, that the important distinction I always draw here is, look, sometimes you can make it work cap-wise, but you still have to make it work cash-wise. And being able to fit teams into your salary cap budget is one thing, but that doesn't mean that you still have enough cash to make that happen. And again, when you're talking about 3 extensions of the magnitude of Cross, JSN, and Witherspoon, there's not going to be a lot of cash left over for other guys. And so that's why I think, that's why there's the question of, whether or not you might be better off, getting something for those guys right now, as opposed to letting them walk in free agency, hoping you get a decent comp pick in return, which is never a guarantee. But the obvious counterpoint to that is they're 6-2 and leading the NFC West, and those guys are still filling somewhat significant roles. So it's a very fascinating balance that I think they're trying to strike right now.
And that trade for Rashid Shaheed, well reported, well sourced. Seahawks players reacting, but for the record, for everyone, the Seahawks did just confirm the trade 6 minutes ago. Brady, I wanted to jump to the Seahawks defense there, who ended a dominant game against the Commanders with some injury concerns. What's the latest on Ernest Jones?
Yeah, we don't know. Mike McDonald did not have any update yesterday when he spoke to reporters in his afternoon press conference. It sounds like there's going to be an update on tomorrow when we hear from him next. But what he said post game, and I'm sure you've heard the sound, but it's not a season-ending injury, but it does sound like that Ernest Jones is going to miss some time, and so. And that's another, depending on how much time he misses, that would obviously add inside linebacker to, the list of potential needs for this team. Obviously, Tyrese Knight stepped in and played pretty well. He ended up leading the team in tackles with 10. And I think what I would point out in situations like this is whenever a team pulls off a big trade, like Leonard Williams a couple years ago, Ernest Jones last year, doesn't necessarily just happen overnight, right? Or even over the span of a couple of days. Usually the ball is kind of rolling for a few weeks. So unless they were already looking for help at inside linebacker, I think, a lot would kind of have to come together in a short amount of time for them to pull off a significant trade to help them there. It doesn't mean it's not possible, because it may be a spot where they were already looking for help anyways. But that's just one thing. That's just a bit of context I would add to that is typically these big trades, they're in the works for a while before they actually go down.
Do you expect any other major trades within the division? I mean, I'm looking at the Niners and their struggles. The Rams are pretty set. Arizona is a team that needs to still be reckoned with. Do you see any other teams making a move?
Well, I got to imagine that San Francisco is looking for some help up front after losing Nick Bosa, a few weeks ago, and then it sounds like they just lost their I think it was their first round pick, right?
Yep.
The other edge guy, Williams, who went down in New York a few days ago. So you got to imagine that San Francisco is going to be looking to add somebody up front. And I would like their chances of outbidding other teams, just knowing that after losing the kind of firepower they have, then you got to imagine there's a level of desperation there. And they're still right in the mix at 6-3, just a half game behind Seattle and the Rams. So with as many key pieces as they've lost, I mean, I was looking at our analytics page at ESPN, and they still the simulations have, for whatever that's worth, they were just below the Rams in terms of the percent chances to win the NFC West, actually ahead of the Seahawks. Again, this is computer projections, so take these for what you will. They ended up being pretty accurate last season, but that just goes to show that as much as you might want to view this as a two-team race, which I've sort of been inclined to think that way because of everything that 49ers have lost, they're still very much in it, and especially if they can recoup some of what they lost up front, that should be the case. That very well could be the case.
The consensus from analysts and national voices around the league seems to be like, oh my God, Seattle's offense is so deadly. And I think in no small part that's because of what we saw from Sam Darnold on Sunday night. Brady, you've clearly watched every single one of Sam Darnold's games this year. How have you seen him grow, not just from 2024, but maybe this year? Like, well, where are points where you look at it and you go, God, when people really look at the numbers and do a little bit of digging, he's just been exceptional here.
I think it's the combination of, well, I've mentioned this before, but just the playmaking. I guess shame on me for not knowing Sam Darnold's game well enough. I was not familiar with your game, sir. He's just way more of a playmaker than I realized. And I've talked about the ability to extend plays and throw on the run and how skilled he is at throwing, even when he's, moving to his left. I think, another aspect of it is the combination of, the ability to push the ball downfield. He's leading the NFL in yards per attempt, yards per drop back, and air yards per attempt. So he's not just dinking and dunking. He is really pushing the ball downfield, but he's also doing a good job of avoiding sacks, which, that sort of, when you're playing that style of offense and pushing the ball downfield, a lot of times sacks are a byproduct of that. But I think that's obviously a tribute to him and how, just the clock and making good decisions. But it's also, receivers are getting open. The offensive line, despite some challenges inside, is doing a good enough job of keeping him clean. And I think you're seeing the scheme itself is helping him in ways that Ryan Grubb's scheme did not, with, just how heavy it was on shotgun and just how pass happy they were. I think that's a tough combination on your offensive line. And so you're seeing the scheme, I think, help keep Darnold clean, in addition to just the way that he's playing and the way that everybody is playing around him.
AB, how you feeling about the linebacker spot? I mean, Drake Thomas has emerged as one of the guys. Tyrese Knight had to play because Ernest went down. Do you think they should target that position? How do you feel about interior linebacker?
Well, I mean, Drake Thomas, yeah, he continues to play well. And I think for the most part, he beat out, Tyrese Knight earlier in the season just because he's like doing things fundamentally sound. He's in the right spot at the right time, and he's a guy that coaches can trust. But I think since he's really, got his feet underneath him there, he's really started making plays. He had another sack in the Washington game. Unfortunately, it was the play where Jaden Daniels went down. But he's got 3 sacks this season, and he's actually adding an element of playmaking in addition to, just sort of being a guy who is, fundamentally sound and all that. So I don't know, in terms of like how aggressive they are or how much urgency they feel to make a move there. I think, obviously that depends a lot on how serious Ernest Jones' injury is. I just think, they've shown that, if that's only going to be a couple-week injury, I know every game really matters here in a race that's as tight as this one in the NFC West. But, I think if they feel like it's only going to be a couple weeks without Ernest Jones, I feel like Drake Thomas has done enough. And Tyrese Knight, still a bit of a question mark, but this is a guy he's played a lot of football for him. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if it's just going to be a short-term absence, I don't know if there would be a ton of urgency to add there, as much as there may be at some other spots.
Just one last quick one before we let you go, and I'm sorry to keep you a little late, but just wanted to check in. I know that you guys spoke with Mike McDonald yesterday, and then obviously a day off today, busy trade deadline, and then you'll get a chance to talk to him tomorrow. Outside of Ernest Jones, is there any other injury that that McDonald was like, hey, hold off until later in the week, or that you're personally watching for?
Well, I mean, the other injury from that game that we know about was the Josh Jobe concussion. And we just, you're not, when a guy's in concussion protocol, you're not like getting daily updates on that. So we won't really know more probably by the end of the week, and so again, that just kind of goes back to the question on Woolen is, as much as I think they may be interested in trading him, other guys keep going down and they keep needing him to fill a pretty significant role. So we'll see if that plays into their thinking with him as, we have less than 45 minutes to go, whatever it is.
All right. He is ESPN's Brady Henderson. A busy day for you and the rest of ESPN NFL Nation. So Brady, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, B.
Okay, you got it. Thanks, guys. See you.
Let's get to Headline Rewrites.
Extra, read all about it. Headline Rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, biggest deadline move made across the NFL so far today. The Jets trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts in exchange for 2 first-round picks. What's the real headline?
This is big because the previous most important sauce in Indianapolis was mayonnaise.
Ooh, I'm bringing this one back.
Which is not a sauce.
It is a sauce. We've been having people fight about this all day. I will say that I think most people agree with me and the rest of America.
You say that all the time, though.
People do agree with me.
Your credibility is gone when it comes with people agreeing with you.
What do you know? People agree with me all the time. I'm right about a lot of things, and I'm right about this one, that mayonnaise is a sauce. It's just not the sauce that a lot of people would choose first. It's not the sauce. It is a borderline sauce. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. If you don't dip your fries in it, it's not a sauce.
I dip my fries in aioli.
All right, we'll call that a sauce then.
Thank you.
We're talking mayonnaise. Aioli's different. It's not mayonnaise.
Aioli is it maybe a little more oil?
Hold on. So you go to a dive bar, get a smash burger with fries, and you say, "Can I have aioli?"
If they have aioli,
whatever,
then yes, I would love some aioli. My favorite aioli is the garlic aioli from Red Robin.
I don't know.
Have you ever had aioli?
Probably. I don't know.
Delicious.
I'm not sure.
It's really amazing.
All right, but yeah. What's the headline? Sauce. Okay.
Sauce Gardner. What do you mean to the Colts?
It means the Colts ain't. Hey, they're for real. They're trying to solidify themselves. They believe in Indiana Jones. They believe in Jonathan Taylor. They believe in Pittman over there. I applaud them, and I think that their owner is doing something. What's her name?
Is it Carly Irsay?
Carly Irsay Gordon.
Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon. Big ups to her husband. He said, "Look, I hyping that thing." But she's doing a great job. I don't think that the success is solely based on her, but she's having some input, and I applaud her.
You mentioned, like, hey, it's a mark that they believe in Daniel Jones, but I did want to revisit that concept in general. Shale Kapadia retweeted, that's his biggest issue with the trade from the Colts' perspective, is that, like, if you're wrong about Jones, those 2 first-round picks were your chance to get your quarterback. So don't be wrong.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily an all-in move, but, like, your best bet to address that were those picks that now you don't have.
Anthony Richardson is gone next year. Who is a quarterback-needy team? You know what I'm looking at? The New York Jets going to ruin another career.
Oh, no, Anthony. That's why they're not going to deal Breece Hall, because they're going to say, we got to hang on to Breece.
Yeah, we're going to change his offense.
We're just going to fix up this offense, this offensive line, the defensive line now, I guess, without Quinnen Williams.
Or the Saints. No, they got Shuck.
No, yeah, they've got Shuck. Rattler's young.
It's got to be the Jets.
You know what it's going to be? The Arizona Cardinals are going to move on from Kyler Murray. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Pay too much money for that.
That may or may not be coming up a bit later in this segment. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Cal Raleigh named an AL MVP finalist alongside Aaron Judge and Jose Ramirez. What's the real headline?
You know, in a morning of shocking news, this is the least surprising.
Yeah, for sure. This is the least you can do, because you're not going to give him the award.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that.
I know insiders all across the country, and they're telling me that he's not getting the award. I don't. But I'm just saying, it feels that way, man.
You?
It feels that way. Hey, you know what I just found out, though? That Cal just bought a whole bunch of property in Monroe.
In Monroe?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of land out there, you know, cow pastures and stuff. So, yeah, welcome to Monroe, Cal.
Maybe he's going to have a cow farm.
Probably, but he's not going to get that MVP. Have all the farm you want, but no MVP.
You don't know that. Curtis, what do you think?
I think he gets it.
Look at Curtis.
So. Listen, I
think so.
I prepare for the worst. That's what I do in my life.
He's already taken home, 2 Players' Choice Awards already?
Sporting News and then the MLBPA.
No, players have no say in the AL MVP vote.
Absolutely none.
But still,
hey.
What if it's like the SAG Awards and then the
Golden Globes?
The Golden Globes, thank you, which are usually indicative of who's going to win the Oscar. You know?
I don't watch that. So.
Okay, well, what's next?
Meaningless awards.
Headline rewrites.
You're going to hate me for this one.
Headline 3, the Cardinals made easy work of the Cowboys in their 27-17 win on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
How do you bench Jacoby after this?
Easily.
How, Bump?
Easily.
How?
You say...
They're better with Jacoby.
What am I paying you? What am I paying him? Yeah, let's go ahead and make that
They're winning
move.
with Jacoby.
Hey, beat the juggernaut Dallas Cowboys at home on Monday Night Football. Jacoby Brissett is, how long has he been in the league? Like 7 years, maybe?
I think probably my whole life.
About a decade, yeah, at least a decade.
Yeah, Jacoby is living a good life.
I will
and
say
he prefers to go back to the bench where it's safe.
I'm pretty sure Cliff Averill suffered that. ultimately career-ending issue against Jacoby Brissett in a game against the Colts here in Seattle. I want to say that's true.
Really?
I don't know for sure. I want to say Week 4 Colts here in Seattle. Cliff Averill got
like
a
a Sunday night game.
Yeah, like a stinger against tackling Jacoby Brissett. I don't know why that's in my mind. I don't know if it's entirely correct. But you just cover years and years and years of this, that you'll have random things that stick out to you. I feel like that's one of them. I don't even know that I'm correct. It feels right.
I hope you're right.
I think I'm right. I don't know if it was Week 4, but I'm pretty sure it was when Jacoby was with the Colts.
It was Week 4.
That's what I'm
Jacoby
saying.
Brissett, starting quarterback
That's what
for
I'm
the
saying.
Indianapolis
There's
Colts.
dumb information that gets stuck in your brain when you're a reporter for that long because you wrote it out over and over and over. And that's one of them. Like, I could know other things that are more useful. And
Cliff Averill, 11
instead I know
snaps that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right, Craig.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know who was on that Colts team opposite the Seahawks that night? Robert Turbin.
Really? Turbo.
6 carries, 8 yards.
Hey, he's a rhythm type of running back. He needs more carries. Don't you talk about
You
Turbo
gotta say it
like
in your
that.
Turbo voice.
Said that's a turbo.
Hey, basically what I need
Stop it. How dare you?
is more carries to get my rhythm.
Some early reviews from the national media on the Rashid Shaheed trade coming your way next.
The NFL trade deadline is here today at 1 p.m.
Something is going on in Seattle.
I've been screaming linebacker, linebacker, linebacker.
Seattle would be a team to watch.
I think we're looking at it through the lens of, is this going to help our team now and in the future?
Will the Hawks make moves? Find out here first.
Schneider and McDonald, they don't sit on their hands.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Go inside the rumor mill and every move at seattlesports.com.
When I was playing ball, November was always such a pivotal time because that's when you truly see whether your team is a contender or a pretender. Many teams enter the month with a chance to win a championship, and what they do in these next 4 weeks make all the difference. Michael Bumbas here, and even though my playing days are over, November can still be big wins at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. All you have to do is claim your free entry at any promo kiosk. Every Saturday in November at Silver Reef, 2 winners are drawn every hour starting at 6 p.m. to score huge prizes. Someone's winning a Hawaiian vacation, an awesome outdoor grill, or $10,000 cash. So here's what you have to do this weekend. Book a stay at Silver Reef Casino, watch the college football games on Saturday, and stick around to see if you walk away with a big-time prize or cash money. Entry is free. For more information, visit silverreefcasino.com/promotions. Book your stay at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. Drive to I-5, go north, exit 260.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Stacy Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we're going to start with some early trade reviews from the national media when it comes to the Seahawks acquiring Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. First, Pat McAfee, who initially had Adam Schefter on the show yesterday, and Adam Schefter was saying, the Seahawks could end up making a move. This is going to be in, I don't see it here, but cut 14. Again, the latest from Pat McAfee.
Rashid Shaheed is so fast.
So good.
Speed kills matchups. Is what every person in the NFL says. Every phase. Special teams, defense, offense. If you have speed, can't coach it, first of all. Okay, you either got it or you don't. And you can have all the plans in the world for somebody. And if they just run around you and by you, there ain't you can do about it. And this is one of those types of guys. And now Sam Darnold, who's having an MVP year, has him on the opposite side of him somehow of JSN.
I saw you nodding along with this one. Before I get to the next cut here, I'm not done with these highlights.
Speed is everything.
Yeah.
Speed gives guys opportunities in the NFL when they don't deserve it. So now you have speed on a guy who's a route runner. We were watching highlights of this young man just a few minutes ago. And you give Sam Darnold another weapon. You give the defense something else to worry about, and you already have the best receiver in the game on your team. Please get that run game popping. Please get it popping.
That's not all. Bruce Arians called Shaheed a game wrecker.
JSN and this guy is a game wrecker, boy. He's a touchdown waiting to happen. Maybe the fastest guy in the league, play speed right now.
Oh, yeah.
And more than just a receiver, he's on reversals. Just get the ball in this kid's hand. He's electric.
I feel like that speed is being overlooked, and I get it if there are a lot of Seahawks fans out there who aren't watching Saints games every single week, particularly this year and last year for that matter.
They ain't got no national televised game.
And I understand, and nor should they. However, I saw some people going, I don't know, maybe a 4th and 5th is too much for a guy that's just going to be here for a little bit, or a guy that's 27. This guy is good. He's so fast, and it's about adding layers to your offense, adding another weapon to your offense. This is not just a a random wide receiver 3 for depth. This is a real weapon.
Y'all, just watch. Watch what Kubiak does. He's getting JSN open, who ran a high 4.4 but plays like a 4.3. Now you're gonna get a guy open who runs a legit 4.3 and plays like a low 4.3. I'm excited for this. Everyone's gonna eat even more because of this move.
He's got, like you said, familiarity with Kubiak's scheme, a career high back in 2023, 719 yards, 5 touchdowns. However, even this year with no one at quarterback, and by that I mean Tyler Shuck, who's been kind of in and out of there, Spencer Rattler, who has continued to struggle. He's still got 499 yards and 2 touchdowns, just behind Chris Olave.
Know from college football, it's just not the right mix. Not to say Chip is not a good coordinator, but it might not be just the right fit for him over there in Vegas. I think Pete has another year, and then if he doesn't get it right, then he'll be out too. I'm
ultimately, as our next story, going to ask you what you think of the Jags season, whether or not you think they're a playoff team, whether or not you've been able to decide how you feel about Trevor Lawrence, but this is ultimately a trade story. Speaking of Vegas, they dealt disgruntled wide receiver Jacoby Myers, who had asked for a trade, to the Jags for a 4th and 6th round pick. Travis Hunter's currently on IR. Brian Thomas Jr., who was rumored to be traded, left Sunday's game with an ankle injury, still there in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, though, in desperate need of receiver help. What have you made of their season, and what could the addition of Myers do for him?
Jacksonville is Similac.
Is what?
Similac. Fake.
Oh.
Not real.
It's baby formula.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's that. I should have looked at you when I said that. Stacy's like, come again? It's Similac. They're fake, man. They started off hot, and they're trying to figure some things out. There's talent over there, though. You got Devin Lloyd, who's a great linebacker. Obviously, you have Lawrence. Hunter's out with injury. I think they're looking at their future and saying, not quite. We're not quite there yet. We're good enough to compete and to keep guys on their toes, but not quite.
Jerry Jones teased it on Monday by saying his team made a trade. That trade turned out to be with the Bengals for linebacker Logan Wilson. Wilson was one of a handful of Bengals to request a trade, so they get linebacker help and also add Quinnen Williams from the Jets. Jets continue their fire sale. What does this mean for the Cowboys, who, barring last night's struggle against the Cardinals, have one of the league's better offenses?
Jerry's trying. I give him that. Yeah. He's willing and he is dealing, and he's trying to make this defense better. These are one of the better moves that I've seen him make over the past couple of years. I think Pickens was a great pickup as well, obviously. But if you can't stop teams from scoring, good luck to you, man. You can put up all the points you want to, but there's so much pressure on this offense that it's impossible for them to keep up. So good on Jerry making this move. They are better. They're 3 games behind Philly at 6-2. I still think Philly's going to be the best team in the conference. They got some work to do, though.
Who are they kind of fighting with now in terms of, like, is it like those wild card spots, like Bears, maybe Vikings if they can turn it back on?
Yeah, how many teams make it? 7?
Yeah, so you've got your division makers, wild card.
Yeah, so you got 4 divisions and then 2 wild cards or 3? What is it? Anyway, they're looking at the Detroit Lions, the Bears, and the Niners. You know what? And the Carolina Panthers, you throw them in there in the mix as well.
You go Carolina Panthers. They just got a big win over the Packers.
So they're 2 games behind those guys, and coming up, their next few games, they have the Raiders.
That's a win.
Should be. You got the Eagles.
That's
if you
not
can
a
knock
win.
them off, that'd be crazy. And then you have, oh my God, it's tough for them. So after the Raiders, you got the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Lions, and the Vikings.
No, they're done.
Good luck to you.
They're done. You know, is it Monday night that's the Packers-Eagles? This Monday? Curtis, is this Monday Packers-Eagles? There's a good Monday night game coming up. I can't remember if it's this Monday, though. Yes. I know this has nothing to do with the Cowboys, but a very, very interesting game there because I think people are still looking to the Eagles. If not the Rams, people are still looking at the Eagles as like, well, this is the team to beat until they're not.
People, are you taking a shot at me right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I am people. I am those people. They still are. You got to knock them off. They got the best record in the game or in the conference right now, tied with a few people. But yeah, until they go on a skid, yeah, they're the ones to beat.
Let's revisit one of my headline rewrites. Do we think Kyler Murray remains Arizona's starting quarterback once he gets a clean bill of health? Jacoby Brissett was asked. This is like a Miss America question that's kind of like impossible to answer. He was asked about why the Cardinals offense has been running better with him as the starter.
I don't think it's me. I really don't. I think it's just, everybody gets caught up in the beginning of the season and everything's not going well or not going well. And the good teams in this league find ways to, continue to get better. And that's what we're doing at this point in the season is just finding ways to continue to get better. You tweak things, you go back to the drawing board. We're going to go back after this game and say, like, we should have did this better, that better, that better. And I think that's what we're doing a good job. And like I said, I really don't think it's me. I just think it's, over the time and through the season, I think we'll continue to get better.
That's a good way to answer it. That's a good teammate answer.
Listen, Jacoby is 32 years of age.
32 years young.
He's played on 6 or 7 teams.
And each of them were better for it.
He knows his role. He's like, listen, I just want to keep getting this check. I ain't going to ruffle no feathers. We are good to go. It ain't me. It's the coach. And I can't wait for Kyler to come back because this offensive line ain't going to protect me.
I don't know why I suddenly decided to be a Jacoby stan. But it's who I am now. You know how I just kind of adopt a new identity every week?
Uh-huh.
Like, for a while ago, it was my transition to being a brunette. Then it was when I got a lunchbox, and I was like, oh, I bring my lunch to work, girl. Then I got a water bottle. So I just adopt new identities every once in a while. When I discovered oatmeal is good for you, and I was all about eating oatmeal. But now it's going to be about Jacoby Brissett.
You're just a walking fad.
That's exactly what I am. And right now it's Jacoby. Daniel Jeremiah lists his 7 most irreplaceable Seahawks next.
The NFL trade deadline is here today at 1 p.m.
Something is going on in Seattle.
I've been screaming linebacker, linebacker, linebacker.
Seattle would be a team to watch.
I think we're looking at it through the lens of, is this going to help our team now and in the future?
Will the Hawks make moves? Find out here first.
Schneider and McDonald, they don't sit on their hands.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Go inside the rumor mill and every move at seattlesports.com.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales report 2025.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with 0 investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Black Friday is coming, and that's the smart time to shop for a top-rated TV from Samsung, LG, or Sony. But why wait? You can get those Black Friday TV deals right now at Video Only, and then enjoy Thanksgiving with your new TV. Still want to wait? Then how about better than Black Friday deals? The top-rated TVs at stupid low prices. Check out Video Only now before the rush, or you'll be sorry.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Daniel Jeremiah with Brock and Self this morning, talking about his most irreplaceable Seahawks, whether the Cardinals are better off with Kyler Murray as their starter or not. Relevant, given that the Cardinals are going to be coming to town on the 9th, this Sunday. And then comparing the Seahawks to the Eagles. So let's get to it. We're going to start with Daniel Jeremiah talking about how many true contenders there are this year, much like the conversation we had earlier this week.
Well, I'll answer the second part. Yes, the Seahawks are absolutely one of them. And I think I would say there's more this year, just because I don't think there's a team, this isn't a year where you're looking at a Chiefs team. We've seen them at times, be undefeated at this point in the year, or, even Philly's got off to some incredible starts and they looked a little bit like a juggernaut. I don't think we have that this year. So I would say there's anywhere from, 8 to 9, maybe even stretch it to 10. I think there's more this year than we would have in a normal year.
I think there are definitely going to be some very good teams that do not make the playoffs this year, which is technically the case every year. There's like a solid team that doesn't make it. But, I mean, you've got 3 7-win teams in the AFC right now, not the ones you'd expect with Indy, New England, and Denver. And then in the NFC, you've got, 5 teams with 6 wins.
The best team to not make the playoffs this year is going to be on the NFC side, the Chicago Bears. I think they're going to win 9-10 games. On the AFC side, the best team to not make the playoffs is going to be the Houston Texans. And that just shows you how competitive things are. Now, Houston's 3-5. They're better than what their record says. I think they've had some issues with that offense, but they're good enough to beat you. They are the 2006 Washington State Cougars, all right? Good enough to trick it off, good enough to beat you. That's how I view those guys. And have a favorable schedule coming up at least the next couple games. But yeah, this is but that makes for good entertainment. That's what the league should be. It should be competitive. There's only maybe 4 teams that we can look at and say there's no way in heck they're gonna get her done. On the AFC,
actually, Titans aren't doing
more than
that.
that.
I think there's
in the
a little
AFC.
more.
You got Vegas Browns, Dolphins, Jets,
Bengals aren't going
Titans,
anywhere. Titans
Bengals.
aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, so let's say 6. On the other side, I think NFC is a bit more competitive. You have, I think Cowboys still have a chance, but Cardinals. Who knows, man?
The Cardinals aren't going. The Cardinals are not going. They're not going, making the playoffs.
But you still respect them, though. You're not looking over the Cardinals. Are you looking over the Cardinals this week?
No, because I know that you can't look past any game, and I know that this team lost to Mason Rudolph Steelers team, and that they lost to, the Daniel Jones and the Giants when they were here. Like, I've seen them lose games that they fundamentally should win.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have not been blown out of any game. Like this 10-point win, I think it was their biggest margin of victory. Yes, but other than that, when it comes to losses, they have not been blown out by any team. And they played the Packers, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Niners. So yeah, I respect them. I don't think they're the ones who are going to ruin your season, though. The Cardinals will ruin your season if you sleep on them.
They asked whether or not the Cardinals are better with Kyler Murray as their starter or Jacoby.
Yeah, the offense it just hasn't been a good marriage. So, I mean, to me, we used to always talk about backups of, okay, can a guy get us out of a game? Can he get us out of a game, and can we survive for 3 games? And the more you see, the probably less you're going to like. And I'm sure that's probably going to be the case with Jacoby Brissett. You run him out there for 8 games, you're going to realize, okay, we got to get somebody better next year. But it just hadn't fit with this coaching staff. And I don't think Monty Ossenfort, the GM, was there when they picked Kyler or, paid him this last time. So I don't think there's a lot of allegiance there.
So again, Daniel Jeremiah, a Jacoby doubter, saying, I think the more you see, the more you're going to not like, which is going to be the case with any backup quarterback. He might have one fun game, but the more you see, the more you realize exactly why he's a backup. That being said, and I'm joking, but I don't think he's wrong here. It doesn't feel like a great marriage with Kyler and the Cardinals right now. A lot of that because changing front offices.
It's only felt like a great marriage for 1 year, honestly. Other than that, there's been friction when it comes to the contract, his leadership ability, his play at times. No, it hasn't been great. But listen, Jacoby Brissett, it's rare that I can't say that. I'm going to contradict myself. I was going to say it's rare that the NFL gets it wrong at the quarterback spot, but we're seeing it right now in Seattle. We saw it with Geno. But more times than not, a backup is a backup because of the way he performs, the way he talks in the film room, the way he sees the field. Like, there are other factors that go into this thing. But, no, I think that you have the opportunity to be way more explosive as an offense with Kyler Murray, but Jacoby probably just runs it more efficiently.
Last up, a fun conversation. Daniel Jeremiah talked about his most irreplaceable Seahawks.
But obviously I started with Sam because it's the quarterback and you start there. I went to JSN number 2. I went to Leonard Williams number 3. I went to his running mate Byron Murphy as number 4. I went with, and this is about the importance of the position as much as anything else, I went with Cross at number 5. And this is where it became challenging because I had 4 guys for 2 spots. But I ended up going, for me, and I'm saying like this, to win a championship, I think you need these 2 guys, and you need these 2 guys to play at a high level. I went Eamon Warrior and Spoon, who's my 6 and 7.
6-7.
Is there
6-7.
Is there a name missing?
Who do you say? Run it through again?
Oh, let me play. He said basically like your top defensive lineman. He had Byron Murphy, which was an interesting choice. Sam Darnold was obvious. He said JSN, right? I'm like, yes. Okay. I'm like, I don't know for sure if I heard it, but he had to. The only one that would be missing would be like, is there a running back that should be listed instead of maybe like a Byron Murphy or
No.
Yeah.
No, I think he got it right.
Yeah, Charles Cross. And he said, well, that's given the importance of the position. You have to have, he's a solid left tackle. He's been perfectly fine for you. Yeah, they have some good answers at some really premier spots, important spots.
Yeah, no, I think he got it. Someone says, the text line says Abe Lucas.
I don't know that I'd have, Abe is incredibly important. I don't know that I'd have him over the guys on your defensive line right now.
Myers, unfortunately. Kicker.
I know you don't mean that.
He's important.
He's hugely important, but if you're your 7 most irreplaceable Seahawks.
Your kicker.
If you
it comes out in playoffs, you play these tough games.
I say this
down the stretch. You're gonna need
a kicker as a position
you're gonna
matters.
need to kick a 55-yarder.
I say this with grace, with love.
No, you don't.
If Jason Myers, who I have defended staunchly supported, in light of you and Wyman hating on kickers all the time, it is easier to replace a kicker.
No, it's not.
Than it is to replace a premier defensive tackle.
Yeah. Yes. But replacing a kicker is not easy.
It's not easy, but it is comparatively easier. I don't know if Leonard Williams were to be done for the season.
Yeah, I'm not. No, you're
monumental.
Right. 100%, you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
But
see, this is a theme that we're realizing.
But Myers, he's gonna have to make a kick to win the game to keep him in it. As much as I don't want to admit how important he is to this team's success, he's going to have to kick a 55-yarder to win it.
When he does, you're going to text me and Curtis and say, Big Cat never would have made that. Big Cat never would have made that kick, not even trying his best.
Did you see
not even with
the
practice.
promo on Big Cat? He free dives 80 meters down in the water, spear fishes. Like he can hold his breath for 7 minutes. He's impressive.
Yeah, I bet he could kick. I bet he could make a 30-yarder. No, I don't think
I give him 20.
It's really hard.
Maybe 15.
Trade deadline is over in 5 minutes. A roundup of all the moves announced so far next.
The NFL trade deadline is here today at 1 p.m.
Something is going on in Seattle.
I've been screaming linebacker, linebacker, linebacker.
Seattle would be a team to watch.
I think we're looking at it through the lens of, is this going to help our team now and in the future?
Will the Hawks make moves? Find out here first.
Schneider and McDonald, they don't sit on their hands.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Go inside the rumor mill and every move at seattlesports.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
This
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Copstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we've performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com. And let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to k2visionrle.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The trade deadline is officially over. The Seahawks made one earlier this morning. They added to their wide receiver room with Saints wideout Rashid Shaheed. They sent a 4th and 5th round pick to the Saints for Shaheed. He has nearly 500 yards so far this season, second only to Chris Olave on New Orleans staff, and he was formerly under Seahawks OC Clint Kubiak.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. The trade deadline is here. We are now 2 minutes past due. No more trades. It's all done. We may still have some filtering in, but it looks for now as though Seattle's is just the trade for Rashid Shaheed. That is what we're going to talk about a little bit here, but let's round up everything we've heard from the league this morning because some of these trades may end up impacting the Seahawks. The Colts made a move. The Seahawks still have to play Indianapolis. The Cowboys made a move. You're not going to play the Cowboys, but does that suddenly become relevant in an NFC race? So let's get to it, and I'm going to start with that Indy Jets trade. The Jets traded cornerback Sauce Gardner to Indianapolis for 2 first-round picks. This was by far the biggest single move of the day. This one is going to be one relevant for Seattle in that they're playing them, but otherwise, obviously, an AFC contender. Still a fascinating move for a Colts team that entered the season with questions at quarterback and just traded away 2 possible solutions to it.
We're talking about the Colts, right?
Colts. Let's start with the Colts and Sauce Gardner.
The Colts and Sauce. This is a star move. Do they have their quarterback in Daniel Jones for the next 3 to 5? That's the thing about Danny Dollars, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you got to say Dollars now because he's having a good season.
All right, dollar sign. Danny dollar sign. That might be better. Here's the thing with him is that he's shown that he can do it for a year. He can do enough to make you believe in him and get that paycheck and pay him $40 million a year, which is what he did with the New York Football Giants. Can he do it year after year? So what do you have to do to make sure, or to see if he can do it? You have to surround him with a good football team, and you get a premier cover corner in Sauce Gardner. Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, and maybe one other quarterback in the league right now that I can't think of are all on the prove it type of situation. Like, do you believe in Danny Dollar Sign right now? Do you think that he's the guy for the Colts for the next 3 to 5?
Maybe, but I don't put him in the same tier as I would certainly like a Josh Allen. It's like maybe they can win with him, but I think he's in the category of really, really good, but you need other pieces.
Like in his career, he's done more than Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be the premier guy.
I don't know that I see Trevor Lawrence as that guy right now for the Jags.
Say it again?
I said, I don't know if I see Trevor Lawrence as that guy with the Jags.
Well, they have no choice because they paid that man.
Exactly, but he's got to do a little bit more.
Yeah, he's done more than him. He's done more than Tua. He's done more than C.J. Stroud. Yet we're still sitting here questioning him.
Sure.
So I don't know, man. Good moves by the Colts. I'm just not sure that Danny Dollasign is the guy.
Let's see. A couple not moved at all. Jalen Waddle was not traded. Bradley Chubb was not traded. Both were rumored to be moved. A.J. Brown, who there were already, plenty of voices shooting down that perception, but was not traded.
It's over now, right? 105?
Yeah, over Breece Hall, obviously not moved. So those were a couple names. Myles Garrett, right? There were a couple names that people were like, well, what if something happens with Trey Hendrickson? But none of those guys end up getting moved. So the biggest move of the day ends up being Sauce Gardner to the Colts. Cowboys get some help for a very bad defense. They have the second worst defense in football right now in terms of yards surrendered. Only the Bengals are worse, both allowing over 400 yards per game on average. They acquired defensive tackle Quinnen Williams from the Jets and linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals.
Not enough. Maybe enough for the future. And I think when Jerry made the move to get rid of Micah, I don't think he was thinking this year they're going to win a championship. I think he was thinking down the line, we're set up to win a championship or to acquire pieces so that you can win a championship. Not enough this year, but good moves, though. You got to take care of the middle of the defense where you're talking about stopping the run. That's exactly what he did.
Before I get to the move the Seahawks ended up making, was it I don't want to say was it a mistake not to add to the offensive line because you never know what they were trying to do. Do you have any post-trade deadline concern about the fact that they did not add to certain position groups?
I mean, I had a wish list. Sure. Obviously, we wanted offensive line. I wanted linebacker, and I could see them adding to the secondary. But this tells me that either there weren't guys out there who they thought fit or teams didn't want to make those moves. I don't think John Schneider and the gang just did nothing and didn't look at linebacker, secondary, O-line. I think that when it's all said and done, it has to be the right fit for you. But I'm looking at this team, and I don't think that there aren't enough pieces here for them to be, as I call them, conference championship contenders. I think that you need development, you need improvement, and they're working from within. And I think that they're not a Super Bowl contender team right now. Could be by the end of the year. Who knows?
The Seahawks?
Yeah. They're not Super Bowl contenders in my opinion. Run game, linebacker depth, shakiness in the secondary at times. I think they could get there. You're asking me today. Today, November 4th.
Yeah.
Today, no, I think they're conference championship contenders, not Super Bowl contenders yet. I'm waiting on the Rams. How do you look against the big boys? All right. Remember my 4th grade story? We beat the 5th graders, Stacy. All right.
Isn't your 4th grade story about punching that kid in the face?
Yeah, well, he was tripping, but he was tripping because the 4th graders beat the 5th graders. We got them, and it was over from then. So they got to beat them 5th graders, man. The Rams are the 5th graders.
A couple wide receivers moved. This is where we're going to land for the rest of the segment. Jacoby Myers traded to the Jags. He had demanded a trade from the Raiders. We don't really care about that one. We're going to get to the Seahawks acquiring Rashid Shaheed from the Saints for 4th and 5th round picks. ESPN's Brady Henderson on with us earlier today talked about the trade.
I think this is a reflection of the fact that, even though this is not relative to the rest of the NFL, a very 3-receiver heavy offense. I mean, the entire league is basically running with 3 receivers a good chunk of the time. So even teams on the lower end of that spectrum, the Seahawks still do it over a third of their offensive plays. And so it just highlights the need for having 3 guys you really feel good about. And, with Cooper Kupp's injury history, I think maybe to a lesser extent, Torrey Horton's injury history, as good as he's been as a rookie so far, he did kind of get banged up in college and over the offseason. So I think this is just a reflection of, the fact that the Seahawks need 3 guys that they really feel good about, even though you kind of tend to think of this offense as being more of that heavy personnel style of offense.
So again, you had JSN, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton. If Cooper Kupp's dealing with that hamstring injury, well, now you've got JSN, Rashid Shaheed, and Torrey Horton. One more thing about Shaheed's background with Kubiak being a benefit.
And then obviously, when you're acquiring a guy mid-season, you don't have the typical ramp-up time like you do in the summer to get that guy accustomed to your offense. And so when it's a guy like this who already knows the scheme and just can be a plug-and-play addition, then, it made a ton of sense.
Well, if you're going to plug and play and he can hit the ground running, then what's he do for Sam Darnold immediately? What kind of weapon is he?
He's the backside of the boot. So the backside of the boot, imagine Sam's under center. You got Oots and K9 in the I formation. Sam fakes the handoff to the right side. Oots takes care of the left side, rolls out, and he's looking towards JSN streaking across the field. You got your flat and rollouts. You usually have your right now route is what we call it, which is your flag, your intermediate, and then your shot. He's the shot on the backside. When that safety, 1 high safety, even 2 high, are flowing to the right side and everything's covered, you toss that thing up because he's going to outrun coverage. That is who that guy is. Also, he can be a screen guy. Give him the football and just let him go. I'm excited to watch film on him tonight to see what type of route runner he is, to see, what his capabilities are. But worst case scenario, he is what I thought MVS was going to be. Like, 2 of my worst takes known to man was MVS is going to be the shot guy and Drake May is going to be garbage. He is going to be what I thought.
But you've had so many good takes.
Yeah, but we keep it real out here. We do real radio. We keep it real.
We do real radio.
But he's the shot guy, and that's what you need. Jason is getting behind defenders, but he is going to run past defenders.
In solidarity, I have also had bad takes.
We all do.
I just don't remember them. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. This should make Seahawks fans feel good. New Orleans fans are sad that Rashid Shaheed
they know
is
what's
here.
up, though.
They know what's up. Absolutely. Nick Underhill, who covers the New Orleans Saints for New Orleans Football Network, says, you already know Shaheed is going to be absolute fire in Seattle's offense. He knows the offense. He knows how to succeed in it. Obviously, familiarity with Kubiak. A rebuilding team needs to trade good players if your timeline doesn't quite meet up. That's just facts. These moves are going to hurt. They should hurt. So that's how New Orleans fans are feeling right now. It's like, man, I'm sure that's how Jets fans are feeling, where it's like, but Sauce Gardner's good. Why are you trading Sauce Gardner? Is probably a feeling of like, but Rashid Shaheed is a great wide receiver on this team. Why are you trading Rashid Shaheed? And it's like, well, it doesn't quite line up with where you are. It lines up perfectly for Seattle. Forget any criticism, and I've seen some of it, not a lot, of, oh, well, you traded for a guy you might have to pay pretty soon, or maybe you lose out on him. It's a 4th and 5th. It's too much. It's not too much. You look like a contender right now. And now a strength is even better. So if you want to talk about, oh, I don't know if your run game is like absolutely perfect, and you're correct. Like the run game needs some work there. God love their commitment to it. It's certainly helping them, especially with play action, but they are not super efficient there. Well, you're elite somewhere else. And it's okay to struggle in certain places when you are elite elsewhere. You think every team that goes to and wins a Super Bowl is absolutely dominant in every single phase of the game and every single facet of the offense or defense? Nope. You just got to be elite at a couple things. And then sometimes that's enough. In fact, most of the time it is.
As long as you're a threat. If you're a threat in the run game, which they are, their personnel groupings make them a threat. We had this conversation yesterday. I dare a defensive coordinator to look at 12 personnel and be like, dime. Let's run dime. 6 DBs out there. Let's not stack the box and let's see what happens.
Can I back up and add context? Because I want you to reemphasize this point. So this was from the Greg Olsen tweet, and he wasn't wrong, but Greg Olsen had mentioned it. Benjamin Solak has said it before, where they said Sam Darnold, Rob Staten mentioned it earlier and said the same thing you are, where they said Sam Darnold is facing more stacked boxes than any other quarterback because the Seahawks constantly not only march out heavy personnel, but do have a lot of carries. I think the second or third most in football, but they're just not running it efficiently. So maybe defenses should call their bluff and force them to run out of them.
Please
and then
do.
you said,
please do. It's a numbers game. You're not going to bring a safety down. You're not going to add a player to that second level. All right. Try the Seahawks. Try it. I don't know if they'll be successful or not, but it's a numbers game. It's a personnel type of game. If you're not going to match your personnel with what the offense is doing, good luck to you. Pray to sweet baby Jesus, because you're going to lose some matchups. There's a reason why Spoon does not play interior linebacker. Why? Because he's a $185 and he's got to deal with 300-pounders. If you're not going to match the personnel, you might get away with it. The chances are that you're probably not.
yeah, I think that's what people are very curious to see about the run game is like, okay, if they do have a game where, it just becomes impossible. There's great coverage, nickel and dime, whatever you end up doing. Seattle has good personnel. I mean, the offensive line, I know people look at right guard. They were hoping to see an addition there at the deadline, but Charbonnet's good. Ken Walker's good. These are 2 second-round picks. Ken Walker, say what you will about him or his injury history, has had a 1,000-yard season before. Mm-hmm. You've got good tight ends. You've got some wide receivers who can block well. You've pointed to JSN being he's a really underrated blocker as well. This is a team that on paper should be able to run better than they do. Maybe they start getting those opportunities.
Maybe, and we got to give time for the Oots effect to come in as well.
That's true.
I mean, there was a 12-yard run that K9 had. You know what? I want to see where he is when it comes to explosive runs right now, because he had a 12-yard run, I think 2 10-plus yards run, and Oots was in the backfield with him. So right now, they didn't count that. They got him at 5 as far as big plays so far. So 20-yard rushing plays is what ESPN, how they calculated. Me personally, I give it 10 or 15-yard runs or big plays to me. But yeah, he had a 12-yard run with Oots back there. I think let's give Oots another week or two to have an effect on this offense.
All right, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what does the trade for Rashid Shaheed tell you?
It tells me that they have a strength. You know what my best lift is? The bench press.
Oh.
Bench press. You know what I do often? The bench press. So I want to get better and better at the bench press. That's what they're doing. They say, look, we got a strength, and we are going to make it even stronger. But it also tells me that Cooper Kupp's hammy might have a little twinkle in it, and it might not be as healthy as we would like it. And they understand that he's in his 30s, and hamstring injuries just don't go away like that. They don't. They are essential to route running. I mean, you can have a sprained ankle and still run decent routes. But that hammy starts going, there's going to be some problems. So this is an insurance policy, but it also takes some pressure off of Cooper Kupp too. Mm-hmm. Like with this pickup of Rashid, it allows Cooper Kupp just to be clutch. We no longer need the 600-700 yards that I was asking for. Just be clutch. Third downs, make a couple catches. Red zone, route some dudes up, score a couple touchdowns. There's pressure released from Cooper Kupp with this move. And Cooper Kupp is a competitor. We know he's going to want the rock. He's going to want to do all the good things. But now he's already a coach out there. He can really be a coach and just sit back and say, all right, man, I'll play my 25 snaps, and get it done that way. But they're heavy on the bench press. It just got stronger.
Can I throw you an extra, just from a listener question, not a 4 down? They said not adding linebacker could be a positive sign for Ernest.
I like that. I saw that. I like that. Maybe, or it just means that they didn't have anybody out there that they really rocked with.
I will say if Ernest Jones, they might really love Drake Thomas and Tyrese Knight, but if Ernest Jones were done for the year, which they've already said he's not, I think they would have tried to make some kind of move.
Let me tell you one thing too, man. Am I getting to this as 4 down? Yeah, I'll
You
wait
want to save
for
it?
this.
Okay.
I'll wait for this.
Second down. Who jumped out to you during your film study?
No surprise, it's Devin Witherspoon. I was so impressed with just the way he reacts to stuff. I mean, he is patient. I compared him to a lioness stalking an impala the first time around. That's exactly it. He makes sure he's taking care of his responsibilities, but as soon as that football is thrown to his area, he is downhill getting after it. He's only a buck 80, 85. He's knocking out tight ends and playing with just this passion that I think this defense needs. I think Uchenna's playing with a bunch of passion as well. But watching Devin Witherspoon, you almost forgot. And Paul Moyer said this during our show. He said, he said he has to get off of Reek Woolen for what he isn't. And what Reek Woolen isn't is a guy who gets downhill and tackles you. And the reason why he said that was because he looks at Devin Witherspoon and he says, this is how guys should play, or how I want them to play. And I couldn't agree more with him. You look at what Devin Witherspoon does and how he plays, and you wish you had 11 of those mentalities out there. But reality is you're going to have different type of guys. Devin Witherspoon, 1 game in, is looking great. I hope he stays healthy. He's going to help this team a lot.
Third down. Who should be aggressive at the deadline? It's come and gone.
It's over
but,
now.
Yeah.
Giants, what you do? Giants, what's up? What you do? You have something. I think you have something special over there because the Cowboys are going to cowboy. The Commanders look like a one-hit wonder. What's your favorite one-hit wonder song?
It's a good question.
Or a big one-hit wonder? Probably like a Macarena.
No, the answer is Mambo number 5. No,
so
it's not
the
Mambo
Commanders
number
are
5.
Macarena, Mambo number 5.
Macarena's not a good song, and I'll stand by
What
that.
you mean? It took the world by storm. You know the dance.
Yeah, I know the
All right,
dance.
then, it got
Against
you.
my own will.
I got you. That's the Commanders. Last year, they were the Macarena. And it's going to be, I think that division is going to be a bit more open than it seems to be. So yeah, I was curious to see what the Giants are going to do. Obviously, I can understand them not making a lot of moves because you got draft picks you want to develop around this young quarterback. You're not going to do anything this year. Neighbors is out. Scatterboo is out. It's going to be tough, but I thought the Giants would make a splash, and they didn't.
Why are so many one-hit wonders from the 80s and like 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? Like, why aren't there one-hit wonders anymore?
Because music now is garbage. These young kids make garbage
So, like,
music.
we don't even call them one-hit wonders. It's just like that person was a trend for a while.
It's
Because when you think about it, you know who's a
oversaturated
one-hit
now.
wonder?
Anyone can make a banger now.
Designer, Panda.
Yeah.
That's a one-hit wonder that people aren't willing to admit, and that was a great one hit.
Hey.
That's my answer.
I got call
That's a
it.
great one-hit wonder.
Yeah, it's a one-hit wonder.
See, we just don't recognize it as a concept anymore.
No, we don't.
Fourth down. What do the Jets remind you of?
The Jets reminded me of that one house you went to as a child during Halloween because you knew you were going to get good candy. Trick or treat. The whole league was looking at the Jets and saying, y'all not doing nothing. You're 1-7. Trick or treat. Who you got? They got rid of Quinnen. They got rid of Sauce. I thought a team was going to go after Breece Hall, but they didn't go after him. I'm sure they tried probably, but you got to keep something, right? A run game is going to be essential. So that's who the Jets are. And the reason why I appreciate this move or this approach by the Jets is because I think they're giving Aaron Glenn like a chance. They're saying, look, this year's a wash. Don't trip. We're going to give you another opportunity to try and fix this. If he wins 6 games next year, he's going to save his job. But nothing good comes out of the Jets. Like, there's nothing. When's the last time they were a good football team? 10, 12 years ago, maybe?
Yeah. They definitely got what they needed. I mean, 2 first-rounders for Sauce from Indy's big. It doesn't matter if 2026 is going to be not like number 10 overall. It's still massive for them to be able to get good picks from Dallas. It's just, Curtis made the joke earlier, and we almost used it as a headline rewrite, but he was like, what did you say? Like, another rebuild. This rebuild will work this time.
This one will work.
So that's kind of how I feel about the Jets.
Different.
This time it's different. This rebuild is different. It's like, on paper, they got a really good return. If you were going to be a seller, they won with the return that they were able to get. But does it matter if you can never actually use it for anything? Like, you've used a top 10 pick I think 10, on Garrett Wilson. And like, he's great. He's still with you. You ended up paying him. That's fantastic. But what does it matter when you don't have anything else? Breece Hall, great. In theory, honest. Like, it's fantastic. Doesn't matter. And Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner were fantastic picks, and now they aren't with you anymore.
Both
so what does it matter?
captains,
And it doesn't matter right now. So you've used those, arguably, outside of quarterback, first, some second-round picks pretty successfully. Not overall. I know that there are lots of draft criticisms for the Jets, but I don't know, man. It feels like the call's coming from inside the house with that team.
360 banger one hit wonder, Gangnam Style. Whoop.
Didn't he have another one?
Whoop, whoop. No, you don't know the name.
Yeah, because he had
that's
the notorious other song, which was.
That's it.
I'm looking at Matt
Gangnam
to help
Style.
me.
Matt don't listen to music.
He had another song.
Can it please be What's On Tonight?
What's on tonight?
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Where will the Huskies be in the first college football playoff rankings of the season? The top 25
Not in it.
will be unveiled. You don't know that. It'll be unveiled tonight.
It's a top 25 ranking.
Thank you. The top 25.
I'm looking at 12.
The top 25 will be unveiled to.
Who said that?
That was Curtis.
Matt,
No.
Matt, you don't like sports, okay?
Let me get to what's on tonight. The top 25 will be unveiled tonight at 5 p.m. on ESPN. Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Stacy here, and I have had a horrible experience selling and buying a car. That's real. So trust me when I say I know a good experience when I see and feel it. Selling that old car or getting a new one from a place you can trust does make a difference. And that's been my experience at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. These are real people I'm talking about here. Mark and Chris have been absolutely wonderful. I also met The Way himself. They all care about making sure you have a hassle-free, low-pressure experience. And they mean it, because you can sell your old car to Wayscar Ford, get paid for it that day, and then get a second check when they split the profit of selling that car with you. You can also explore a competitive selection for your new ride and upgrade like I did. I upgraded to a 2025 Bronco Sport, heated steering, all-wheel drive, leather interior. I'm obsessed. Wayscar Ford is family-owned and operated for 103 years in Auburn. Lifetime powertrain on all new Fords, never any pressure. If you change your mind within 5 days or 500 miles, take it back for a 100% refund. WayscarFord.com.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... Just beautiful...
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Veterans Day is a moment where we express gratitude towards the folks who have served on our behalf, our veterans. And Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates veterans of all branches and their families on Veterans Day and every day of the year. They serve over 2 million veterans, and as a veteran, you can become a member and access exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools for the whole family. Become a member at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident Book Series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long, I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Coming your way in 15 minutes. 866-979-3776. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Well, biggest blockbuster of the day in terms of the NFL trade deadline was Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-round picks, but the Seahawks won the deadline. Bump.
Won it. Who they competing against? Just themselves?
I don't know, just like grades. Like, I don't know, you know how people say you won the deadline, you won the draft, you won the whatever. The Seahawks won the trade deadline. That's your first Hype Train.
Yeah, they won it in a way that I didn't expect. It's like them winning a football game, rushing for 220. You know what I mean? I didn't expect them to. I bought into the idea of them getting a receiver. I didn't expect them to get this type of receiver. I thought maybe it was number 3 caliber type. This is a true number 2.
Yeah.
In some offices, a number 1. So yeah, I'd say they won the trade deadline.
Seahawks won the trade deadline. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
Yeah, I'm boarding that train. I think there are many winners in this trade deadline. The Seahawks are in that grouping. I think the Colts are a winner, getting Sauce Gardner. But yeah, the Seahawks got better today. They're better on November 4th than they were on November 3rd. And that is saying quite a bit because they're playing pretty well right now. So, yes, they won the deadline.
I think I'm going to say the Seahawks did as well. All aboard this one. The Colts, in terms of making a very good team that's 7-2, that much more competitive, but they gave up 2 first-round picks, which is pretty costly and is going to play into our next Hype Train. So let's get to it. Well, trading 2 first-round picks for the Colts means that all your money is in on Daniel Jones being your franchise quarterback of the future. So that is your next Hype Train. Daniel Jones is the Colts guy, franchise quarterback.
I'm going to return the energy that most of the country gives Sam Darnold in Seattle and say, I got to see it first. No. He's not the guy. I think he has some explaining to do. He has some performances to show me. I think he is trending. I think he is I know he's the leading passer in the NFL right now with 2,400 yards. But I've seen this story before. I've seen this movie before. You ever see it? It's like those Hallmark movies that you know what's going to happen.
Oh, I love Hallmark movies.
Oh, small town.
Sometimes they're twisty. You don't know.
She comes back to her small town.
Yeah.
She finds a guy who works on a farm. He wears a
Not always a
flannel.
farm.
He's very strong. He's throwing hay over his shoulder. She
Sometimes
falls
he's a
in love.
fireman.
He has a kid. The mom died. And they get together, the family. She moves out of the big town down to the small town, out of the big city to the small town, and they fall in love, live happy ever after. I've seen this story before.
Yeah.
Change the ending.
Sometimes they have fun ones about time travel. You know, they really throw a wrench into it sometimes. Bump is not boarding this one. Daniel Jones is the Colts franchise quarterback. He's quarterback of the future. Curtis.
The recent turnovers are a bit of a concern. He had 3 in week 9. That's not ideal.
Yeah,
but
5 total.
Pittsburgh's not a bad team. The Steelers are probably going to win or at least be a top 2 team in the AFC North, depending on how Baltimore finishes out the season. But I mean, you deal your next 2 first-round picks, that kind of locks you in for your quarterback the next 2 years, unless you're going to take somebody in maybe the second round or whatever. So, yeah, I think kind of by default, Daniel Jones is the Colts franchise quarterback right now. We're boarding this train. I mean, he can't do much better than what he has given you so far this season, but it's Daniel Jones, like Bump said. There's nothing in his history that can give you much confidence in him going forward. This is really his only really good season. But yeah, you give up 2 first-rounders, there's not going to be much change in the quarterback position from what you've got right now.
Yeah, I'm going to board this one as well. Similar reason, so I won't rehash too much of it, but it's just he is not only because he has to be, clearly, which is kind of a cop-out answer. I don't care. That's how I feel. But also, look, statistically, he's been fantastic this year. So, not every single franchise guy is going to be Patrick Mahomes.
You know what?
Some of them just have to be good enough, and I think he is.
He's the Gangnam Style guy, 2-hit wonder. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Next up. Speaking of quarterbacks, Sam Darnold is firmly in the MVP conversation. This is not should be.
Firmly?
This is not can be. This is firmly in the MVP conversation now.
Nah, to us he is. Not to the world, Craig.
I don't know.
Not to the world. To the world, you got Daniel Jones, you got Pat Mahomes, you got Drake May, you got Matthew Stafford, Dak before this week. Nah, I don't think he's firmly in it. To us, he is, but to the world, Craig, nah.
The text line just got me. They said, breaking news, Hallmark just announced, and then I clicked on it. They said they have successfully developed a second plot for their movies. Dang it, they got me. The text line knows how to play me. Sam Darnold is firmly in the MVP conversation. Curtis.
I think he is. We're boarding this train. And the only reason why I say this is because if you go 17 for 17 on national television, that'll get some eyes on you. I think if he had just had a pretty, run-of-the-mill Sam Darnold kind of effort on Sunday, I don't know if he'd be squarely in the MVP conversation, but doing that doing that on national TV, that is something that matters, even though it's just one game. But you got to have those kinds of performances if you're going to be in the MVP conversation. And look, we're 9 weeks into the season. Has anybody kind of catapulted themselves to the top of that discussion yet? I don't think so. So you could put anybody in that. I mean, JSN, I think, is in the MVP conversation as well.
Hey, did the train leave yet?
You want to get on it?
I just went to Vegas. Vegas has Sam Darnold the 4th highest odds to win the MVP.
He's in it, man.
Yeah.
All aboard this one, Matt, because not only does Vegas have him firmly in the conversation, but I have been seeing nothing but national voices talking about it. Dan Orlovsky, Pat McAfee, Mike Garafolo, former players, Chris Long, guys who have podcasts and other outlets where they can share their own opinions about the game.
We have a podcast.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Bump and Stacy podcast.
Yeah.
Next up, based on a segment we had earlier today where we played some sound from a Sportsnet host saying the better team the Blue Jays were the better team. The better team lost the World Series.
Shohei, Mookie, Freeman, Yamamoto, Snell, Will Smith, Edman,
Rojas,
Hernandez, Rojas, Pajes,
Snell.
Teo.
Oh, you said Snell.
What are we talking about? They played better overall. They played better. When have the Kansas City Chiefs gone undefeated? Not never.
Yeah, no.
Never. So when they lost to that team, they lost to whoever it is they lose to. Are they the better team or are they just better on that day? We played a 7-game series. Curtis, where am I from?
From West LA.
West LA, Culver City, California. Of course, we have the better team. What are you talking about, man? Take the L, Toronto, old Canada, whatever. Revoke my passport. It don't matter. Kick rocks.
The better team lost the World Series. Bump said absolutely not. Curtis.
The Dodgers are the best team. Like, crown them, 7-game series. They won 4 games. Like, they were the best. They had the most talented team the entire season. They dealt with a lot of injuries as well. But, yeah, it was pretty obvious that the Dodgers were the best team because the Blue Jays just couldn't eliminate them. Try as they might, didn't happen. So, yeah, it's over. The Dodgers are the world champs.
Deal with
the Blue Jays were not the better team over the course of a 7-game series. Caleb Joseph, miss me with that.
No one boarding this one because I think we all share a same opinion here. When you take it to a best of 7, and not only that, but in multiple games in that best of 7 go into extras, you have a lot of chances to prove that you're the better team. And if you would have proven that, you would have won. The Blue Jays had the better offense. They had the better slash line. They had the better average. And trust me, they were unrelenting offensively at times. And it was really cool to watch once they weren't playing your own team. But what's not reflected in your slash line, what's not going to be reflected entirely in your average is your base running mistakes, some questionable managerial decisions. There were other ways that you cost yourself this game. You by no means handed it to the Dodgers. You got outplayed. It is what it is. Again, second best team in baseball. You proved it this year. A fantastic offense. They got a lot of pieces to run back, but I think it's just poor sportsmanship to say that.
360 says, best team money can buy. Yup. We bought that.
The Blue Jays are also rolling out a high payroll.
We bought that.
This is not like a little league
You
team
ever
out
buy
here.
something and just feel really good about it and just look at it?
Yeah, sometimes I find good finds on Amazon.
Yeah. Bought that. Feel good about it. I
You
feel
just
good
walk
about
past
this.
it.
Yeah. You know how often I look at Dodger highlights the past, 4 days, 3 days?
You just fall asleep to it.
I do.
Yeah. My last one was mayonnaise as a sauce, but I'm going to just
Not a sauce, Stacy.
go right past that one. Get your questions in for what I need to know, 866-979-3776.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there. And it was cool because you got to take them through and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with. And so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Wow, look at these Black Friday deals on TVs. Samsung, Sony, and LG at the lowest prices of the year, even on their top-rated models. Now we can get that top-rated Samsung we were thinking about, but we'll need to get up early on Friday.
These are great deals, but why wait? Video Only has all these deals right now. We can get what we want today, and they're even offering no interest financing.
So we can get these Black Friday deals right now at Video Only and pay it off later?
Yep, and many of their prices are better than those flyers.
Better than Black Friday? No wonder Video Only got those high scores when they rated TV stores. Let's head over now and beat the crowds.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, soundbars, and home theater systems. Shop around, but then make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma. Video Only.
Mr. K's Construction reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Mr. K's Construction, committed to making your home and our community beautiful since 1977.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I like this first question for what I need to know. It's not sports related. How do you think the world will end? And what's a secondary concern you have if that happened? For instance, says the texter, like zombies, but I'll be halfway through shaving, so I'll look ridiculous while trying to survive. That's a great question that I've thought about a lot. Like, what if it's like a massive, massive, massive earthquake? I have thought about this. I'm going to answer first because I've thought about it. my fear is that I will be in the middle of getting my hair done. So I'm going to have like hair dye on, or it's going to look real crazy. And not only that, but you need to wash it off. It's going to burn my scalp. But then like the world, like it'll be like zombies or like a comet or an asteroid or like, I don't know, whatever else. And then I'll be like, well, shoot, before I even try to run for my life, I have to shampoo this off. That's what I'm afraid of.
Burn your scalp.
Yeah.
No, the world's going to end. Humans are going to do it to each other, man. Simple. Everyone's going to have nukes. Someone's going to start tripping. And once one country starts tripping, there's other 20 countries that got to get involved, and we're going to blow each other up.
Is your secondary concern going to be that the Lakers are on the cusp of a finals win?
You know what, Stacy? In my lifetime, I've seen 5
that
Laker
must be nice.
championships and 3 or 4. I didn't remember.
So what's your
one.
secondary
And
concern?
3 Dodgers. I got 8. I got 8 rings.
Oh, wow.
I'm Tom Brady.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have answers to that one?
Matt's thought about this.
Yeah, I feel like Matt's got
Matt has thought
years
about
of
this for sure.
thoughts on this.
I have 2 thoughts.
Okay.
One of
Share
my
'em.
concerns is I go for a lot of like walks on the waterfront. If a tsunami hits, done. Just
Yeah.
toast. My other concern though is if there's no power in the apocalypse, I'm not going to be able to watch any of the literally hundreds of
Yeah.
movies I have on Blu-ray, and that's going
On
to kill me.
Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big physical.
Well, 'cause you
Physical
have to be
media
ready for-
won't.
yeah.
That'll be around forever.
Yeah.
No, it'll be around forever, but if there's no power to my Blu-ray player, they're just
You gotta
shiny
get a
discs
generator
sitting
for it.
on a shelf.
Yeah. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Do you have a good travel hack? I don't
A
travel.
good travel hack.
Yeah, they want a good travel
just
hack.
pack light as heck. Don't ever check your bag. If you don't have to, do not
What
check
about
that
like
bag.
lying to get certain things? Do you ever like, oh, this is how you get first class?
You know,
This is how
one time I went to get food and I parked in a handicap spot, and I went in to get my food and it took too long, and there were some people who came in. I thought they were talking about me parking in the handicap spot. So it was a hack to get my
Wow. I was like, where are you going
food.
with
Hey,
this
I'm like,
one?
why did it take you so long to
That
catch
took
on
me a
to it?
minute.
You weren't listening to me. That's why.
We didn't have to bring that on air.
You brought it on air.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, snaps. Oh, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was public knowledge.
That's not.
I'm sorry.
That was not. That
I
was
did
an
not mean to do
off-air-
that.
That was an off-air story.
I did not mean to do that. Oh, man.
866-979-3776.
I'll say the one travel hack
I'm
I
sorry,
have.
Stacy.
And they kind of tell you to do this at SeaTac. Arrive at the departures.
Yes.
And then you don't clog up traffic up there.
Brad
Or
and,
arrive at the baggage claim.
yes.
Yeah.
Brad in Seattle said about to pop into Victor Tavern. Is it any good?
It's pretty good.
It's
Oh, yeah,
really
we
good.
had
It's
some this
nearby.
weekend.
It's bomb.
Oh, you left, Curtis? You didn't
I've
get-
had it before.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, someone else said you can buy socks and underwear anywhere in the world.
What does that mean?
Just a good thing
Oh,
to
yeah.
remember when you're
Oh,
packing
no.
in general.
I buy socks every other weekend.
Someone said now Stacy gets to tell an off-air bump story.
I deserve it. I did not mean to do that.
Well, that's not like an I don't think it was embarrassing. I thought it was very on brand.
You should be embarrassed by it.
Why should I be
broke some
embarrassed
trust
about it?
here. I didn't mean to do that.
I don't think it's an embarrassing story. I think it's a funny story.
It's a funny one, but I thought you told it on air for some reason.
Matt.
You broke the law.
I didn't break the law.
No, you break the law every
No,
day.
I was in that
well, yeah,
handicap
I do
spot
that,
for
but
2
I'm not a
seconds.
host.
Hey,
And
this we can get back at
Yeah.
bump for this.
Yeah.
Official news. The Cardinals are naming Jacoby Brissett their starting quarterback. That's from Adam Schefter, Annie, and Rappaport.
I'm sorry, my boy Jacoby Brissett.
Because Kyler's hurt.
No, it's because
Nah, he's their starting
Jacoby's a
quarterback.
winner.
No, is it because are they just naming him, or is it because Kyler Murray's
Because
hurt?
he earned it. What do you mean?
No,
Ian Rappaport, the
be
Cardinals are
specifics.
naming Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback.
Why though? I need the why before
they won.
you do your
This is
victory
bad
lap.
news for the Seahawks.
It is because they are garbage against backups.
Jacoby's so much better than that. Maybe you guys didn't watch Monday night. Jacoby throwing some bombs.
Wow, that's a bar.
Unfortunately, I have to stop standing Jacoby for 1 week while they're taking on the Seahawks on Sunday here in Seattle. But then I'm right back to it.
Us. He said, "Dang, bump." I'm sorry, Stacy.
Well, oh, you mean about saying my story on air, or about saying that there was no way Jacoby would start?
Sure.
And play? Yeah,
sure.
both are really losses for you. I don't think I broke the law. I broke the law for 2 seconds. I just ran in for 1 second, and then I went back outside, and then that's the end of the story, and there's no other details.
That's it.
There are no other embarrassing details to the story. What I need to know, 866-979-3776. What is, oh God. Oh, I thought this said the opposite. They said, what's one thing you're most proud of in your life? I thought they said least proud, like the most not proud of.
Most proud of? I mean, we have kids. It's always the kids. Them dang kids. Yeah. Hey, for real sometimes though, Curtis, forget them kids, man.
I'll add on another question. What's the last thing that each of your guys' kids did where you were like, forget these kids? The radio-friendly edit.
I asked him something. He was like, I feel uncomfortable talking about that. I go, shut your mouth and answer the question. Nobody asked you if you're uncomfortable.
Who are you dating? Or
it was you know,
like a simple question.
Some male stuff.
Okay,
some grown man conversation.
Trying to
I'm
talk
like,
to
shut up and answer the question, dog. I ain't ask you how you feel.
I would say every night at bedtime, because my girls are at the age where they're trying to think of every excuse in the book to stay up. It's like, just go to bed. Just go to bed.
Yeah.
If you continue to do this, I will not stay in your room until you're asleep.
Do they bargain with you? Like, how about 5 more minutes?
Willa's thing is, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And it's just...
Or when they act surprised, like you go to sleep every night.
Right. It's dark outside.
Man. Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, for real though?
Jacoby throwing bombs?
That's crazy.
Oh.
No, but that was a bar.
Thank you. But yes, that Jacoby is playing. Well, so, I mean, this technically means Kyler's bench, right? Or maybe they're playing it really, really, really safe.
I don't know. I
need
more
like
info.
Like exceptionally safe.
Exceptionally.
Like really, like where they're like, no, you're definitely hurt. And he's like, no, I can play. And they're like, you're hurt.
No. X-rays say different.
Well, I guess that'll factor into our previews for the rest of the week. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
For the first time ever, enjoy 0% interest for 60 months with equal monthly payments, plus 15% off new windows and doors only from Lake Washington Windows. Voted the best in the Northwest for comfort, quality, and savings. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching.
This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up, or when you store. Start with Stable.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together, like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/sports.